Chapter 980. In the illusory space, Linley had completely lost himself. He had lost track of where he was. At this moment, all he knew was love. All he knew was that his wife was still alive by his side, and that his first child was about to be born. This was very exciting for Lin Rei in the illusory sky. Perhaps it was the guilt in his heart towards Jean Ling and her child that made Lin Rei sink deeper and deeper, making him forget everything. Not outside the range of the illusory sky, Ying, Bing, and Tian Ning were standing together. Looking at Lin Rei in the illusory sky and seeing their husband, Lin Rei, in such a state, they were filled with worry. Especially Ying and Tian. As Lin Rei's wives, they understood the importance of Jean Ling in Lin Rei's heart. Now that the illusory sky had appeared, the thing they were most afraid of had happened. What should we do? If husband continues to be immersed in the memories of the past, then... The more Bing looked, the more anxious he was. He didn't want to see his husband so immersed in the memories. Sigh. At the side, Ying sighed. Her face was filled with helplessness. Her heart was filled with helplessness. She understood Bing's thoughts, but there was nothing she could do. Although she didn't know what the illusory sky was, if it could make Lin Rei like this, then she might not be able to return. At that time, her husband wouldn't be able to come out and she would be trapped. If that was the case, then there would be even less hope to save Lin Rei. She didn't want this to happen, nor did she want to see it. You. As if thinking of something, Ying turned to look at Tian Ning and Tian Shu Rabbit. Both Ying and Bing knew their identities. Thinking that they were both origin energy, a ray of hope flashed in their eyes. Feeling Ying's expectant gaze, Tian Ning understood what Ying was thinking, but, I'm really sorry. I can't help you with this. It's not that I don't want to help, but I really can't. Looking at Ying, Tian Ning's expression didn't change at all. We are both origin energy, but you also know that Tian Shu Rabbit and I have the same origin energy. Now, we are separated. But, even if we are not separated, this is the first time we have seen such a secret technique of space origin energy. Moreover, our insignificant strength is really not elegant. This, seeing Tian Ning refuse, Ying didn't say anything more. She could feel that Tian Ning wasn't lying to her. This might be true. But when she thought about how her husband was trapped in an illusion, her heart was filled with anxiety. As for this scene, Lin Rei naturally didn't know. At this moment, Lin Rei was immersed in the land of warmth and tenderness. Linley cherished his wife so much that he wanted to make up for all the regrets he had in his heart right now. Looking at his busy wife, Lin Rei was stunned and quickly went up to help. He took more of the things in Jean Ling's hands and said with a pained expression, Ling, how many times have I told you? It's not like you don't know that your body isn't suitable for doing these things right now. Just leave these things to me. As he spoke, he hurriedly turned around, bent over, and began to work. Most likely, if an outsider were to see this, they would be stupefied. Even Wooming Dragon, upon seeing how gentle Linley was extremely shocked. Even Di Shi Tian was the same. Although he was Lin Rei's clone, he had never experienced Jean Ling's matters. Regarding this, Lin Rei also didn't pass the information about Jean Ling into his clone's mind. In the illusory sky, looking at her husband's busy figure, Jean Ling's heart was filled with happiness. Looking at her busy husband, she reached out and touched her bulging belly subconsciously and said to herself, Sigh, child, hurry up and come out. Look at your father, he's been too tired recently. Just like this, time passed quickly. Lin Rei brought Jean Ling to live in the new house. As usual, Lin Rei went out to hunt, gather herbs, and then came back to help Jean Ling cook. Every time he returned home, he would see his wife, Jean Ling, waiting for him. Lin Rei had said this many times, but the final result was always evaded by Jean Ling. However, he would continue the next time. In the end, Lin Rei gave up because he understood his wife's thoughts. In the blink of an eye, a few months had passed. Today was a special day because just when Lin Rei was about to go out to hunt, Jean Ling suddenly said that her stomach hurt. Thinking about the date, he understood that his wife was about to give birth. In the room, Jingjing's painful cries were constantly heard. His voice was filled with fatigue. Ah. No, no, husband, it hurts so much. In this environment, without a midwife, Lin Rei could only do it himself because he felt that it would be better to have him by her side. Besides, this way, he could also witness the birth of his child. Ling, do your best. Believe in yourself. Think about how the child will look when he grows up. Think about how the child will look when he marries his wife. Think about how we will look when we are old and hug each other to watch the sunset. Think about more beautiful things. This might bring you strength. Besides, you still have me. You still have me by your side. Let's work harder and our child will be born. Let's work harder. Looking at his wife's pale face and drenched in cold sweat, Lin Rei's heart ached. He would rather be the one in pain at this moment. It was a pity that he couldn't take over the birth of the child. Otherwise, he wouldn't hesitate to do it. Ah. Husband, I'm in so much pain. Husband. Oh. The sound of the private room rang out. Time passed quietly along with Jean Ling's painful cries. Finally, under Jean Ling's efforts, the child was born. Wah! A loud baby's cry spread out from the room. The sound was so loud that it could be heard clearly. As for Jean Ling, perhaps it was because she was too tired after giving birth. After giving birth, she fell into a deep sleep. Her face was relaxed, but her brows were tightly knitted. Sigh. Ling, it's been hard on you. You even gave birth to a son for me. Looking at the little fellow in his arms, Linley had already decided that the child's name should follow his mother's surname. There was no other reason other than the fact that he had seen the hardships his wife had gone through in Jinling. Child, look at your mother's difficulties. From now on, your surname will be Jean and your name will be N. It means that you have to be grateful to your mother. As a father, I don't ask you to be very promising. As long as you can repay your mother for the pain when she gave birth to you. With that, Lin Rei placed the child on Jean Ling's body. He turned around and put away all the miscellaneous things in the room. The room looked brand new, which made Lin Rei slightly satisfied. Looking at his wife sleeping soundly on the bed, Lin Rei smiled and came to her side. He quietly waited by their side and did not leave even half a step. For some reason, Lin Rei fell asleep. The next day, Lin Rei woke up leisurely. Looking at his wife who was still in a deep sleep, he smiled and went out to cook. Jean Ling woke up at some point. My child. Thinking of the child, Jean Ling quickly lowered her head. When she saw the child at the side, she felt relieved. Looking at the child in her arms, the crystallization of love with the person she loved, Jean Ling smiled happily. At this moment, Lin Rei walked in from outside. Looking at the aura on the bed that had woken up, Lin Rei smiled and said, "You're awake. Why don't you sleep for a while?" "I can't sleep." Looking at her husband and the little guy in her arms, she said, "Husband, have you given this child a name?" I've already named him." Looking at Jean Ling's appearance, Lin Rei could not help but say the child's name. "I named him Jinan." "What? Jinan?" "No, husband. How can he take my surname?" "No, this can't happen." When she heard that her husband had actually named the child, she resisted for a moment. Although Jean Ling was a little happy when she heard the name, this name was absolutely unacceptable. "Stop fighting, Ling. I called him Jinan because I saw the pain you went through when you gave birth to him. I want him to remember the pain you went through when you gave birth to him when he grows up. I don't want him to forget how difficult it was for you to give birth to him. So, Ling, listen to me now." After saying that, Lin Yu took the child over and brought the hot food in front of Jean Ling to let her eat. "Husband, why don't you let me see the child again? I still want to see it. If you're like this, I'll be angry. Let's do as I say. Let's eat first." It's not like we can't see the child after that. When the child is out of confinement, we'll take him back to see your grandfather and let your grandfather know that you're a mother now. Besides, you haven't been back for the past year. I miss Grandpa too." Hearing Lin Yu's words, Jean Ling's eyes revealed a sad look. This scene made Lin Yu unable to help but walk to Jean Ling's side and hug her, comforting her. It's okay, it's okay. When you're out of confinement, we'll go. If you want, you can live there in the future. Besides, this place is quite close to Shuaikan village. Yes. I'll listen to you, husband. Whatever you say. With that, Jean Ling picked up the food that Lin Yu brought over and began to eat. Although she hadn't eaten for a day, when she ate, she was still so slow and graceful. Time was a law that couldn't be grasped or touched. Day by day, it had been more than 100 days since Jean Ling gave birth to the child, and Jean and could also call his father and mother. This made Lin Yu and Jean Ling happy dozens of times. Especially Lin Yu, who now urgently needed to cook for Jean Ling and play with Jean N every day. Every day, her life was full. When she had nothing to do, she went out to hunt. When she hunted, she would hunt nearly 100 pounds of meat and wild fruits. Every day, she fed Jean Ling and Jean N until they were full. As for Jean Ling, she originally thought that after she gave birth to the child, she could cook for her husband and child, but she didn't expect that things were completely different from what she imagined. After giving birth, Lin Yu became even worse. When she had the child, although she could only sit on the bed, she could still do some work. Now, Lin Yu didn't let her have a good time. She would even cook for her every meal. In this year, Lin Yu's cooking skills were completely developed. Every day, there would be meat in the pot. This made Jean Ling almost want to escape from Lin Yu's clutches after giving birth, but in the end, she could only compromise. In the outside world, watching Lin Ray sink deeper and deeper, the happiest person was Kong Shi. He really didn't expect that his elementary illusory space would be so strong. "Bastard, who told you to treat me like that before?" After saying that, Kong Shi looked at his miserable appearance, and suddenly, a trace of anger rose in his heart. "Lin Ray, you." In the distance, feeling that Lin Ray was in a dangerous state, Sakura called out softly. Although at this moment, Lin Ray had a smile on his face, as the clone of Lin Ray, Sakura was very clear that Lin Ray was in danger at this moment. If he didn't get rid of him as soon as possible, the final result would only be death. What should we do? Now that Lin Ray is bound, what about us? Just when Sakura was anxious, Wooming Dragon's voice appeared. What else can we do? If you have the ability, then go. Sakura was speechless towards Wooming Dragon. Forget it. I'm not even as strong as you. Why would I go? I'm just going to fill up the numbers. With a fake smile, Wooming Dragon said and then left in a flash. However, at this moment, no one noticed that in the Dragon Clan's sacred land, a young man in the water had stopped. His deep eyes seemed to be able to see through everything as he looked at the entrance of the Dragon Clan. A strange smile appeared on his face. Space origin, I didn't expect that there would be such a lively scene here. Slaughter origin, space origin, 9 azure dragons, Qilin clan, and that fellow who possesses a special bloodline. Could it be that the world has changed? Is there a problem with the Tendo or the Great Tao? Why would all these powerful things gather in the divine world? Oh, suddenly, a dragon roar came from the sky. Regarding this, the young man who was originally thinking about something trembled and quickly said, I say, why don't we make a deal? I will save your master and you will let me go. How about? Although the 9 azure dragons were dragon souls, they still possessed the ability to distinguish and understand. Furthermore, they could also sense that Lin Ray was in a very dangerous illusion. They were also very anxious. However, due to the order that Lin Ray had given them earlier, they had no choice but to obey. Oh, space origin, you've got me again. A deep and powerful voice sounded in the young man's ears. This young man was none other than the Blood Qilin Blood Lotus. Holy shit, you can talk. Blood Lotus was certain that the one who had spoken earlier was the azure dragon above his head. That was because there was no one else here. Enough with the nonsense. Can't you just give me a straightforward answer? If you can go out now. If you can't, you can wait here obediently. As for the space origin, if he dares to act impudently, you don't mind teaching him a lesson. Although this doesn't conform to the rules, for the sake of Master's safety, we can't care too much. That's right. Even if we have to die, we cannot allow him to harm Master. At that moment, the azure dragons, who usually didn't speak, began to discuss in the human language. Hearing this, the Blood Qilin was even more shocked. He hadn't expected the 9 azure dragons, who had accompanied him for so long, to be able to speak. Chapter 981. Yes, that's right. Your master is in trouble right now, so you should go help him instead of watching over me. Although he was surprised that the 9 azure dragons could speak, he would be an idiot if he didn't run now that such a good opportunity had presented itself. He didn't want to stay in this stream forever. If word of this reached the ears of those old fellows, how would he be able to survive as a Blood Qilin? Yes. You're right. Hearing Shuel Yan's words, the leading azure dragon nodded. However, Master said to watch over you. Thinking about this, the leader of the blue dragons turned to the rest of the blue dragons and said, how about this? Old 6, Old 7, Old 8, Old 9, you 4 stay here and watch him. Don't let him run away. Otherwise, Master will punish you when he escapes. As for us. A murderous aura surged. We'll go save Master. Although we don't know if we'll succeed, if we self-destruct, I believe that even that lousy space won't be able to withstand it and will collapse. Then, it'll be much easier for Master to escape. After making up his mind, a look of determination flashed across the azure dragon's eyes. Seeing this, Shuel Yan in the stream was stunned. His expression was full of admiration. I didn't think that the azure dragons would go to such lengths for a human. The ancestors of the dragon clan are actually willing to self-destruct for a human. I really don't know what's so good about this human to be able to make 9 azure dragons pledge their loyalty to him. Furthermore, they're all so loyal, Shuel Yan muttered to herself as she looked at the azure dragons. Yes, big brother, you guys go. Keep an eye on these guys. You have to save Master. F***ck, no way. You guys still haven't forgotten about me? You guys are too vicious. Shuel Yan's expression changed. He didn't think that the azure dragons would still not let him go at this point. Of course. The azure dragon understood Shuel Yan's thoughts. We don't dare to disobey Master's orders. Although you reminded us, it's not enough for us to disobey Master's orders, so, give up. With us watching you, you won't be able to escape. He sneered at Blood Lotus and continued, fuck, you should save your energy and work hard to accomplish your goal. Only then will you be truly free. Then, without waiting for Blood Lotus's response, he looked at the dragons at the side. The dragons nodded in unison. Then, the 5 dragons left the army and rushed toward the entrance of the dragon clan. F***ck, you guys are ruthless too. Looking at the remaining 4 azure dragons, Blood Lotus wanted to cry. He did not expect the azure dragons to be so sneaky. Looking at them, the Blood Qilin smiled bitterly and shook its head helplessly. It wanted to leave, but it didn't have the ability to do so. In the illusory sky, Lin Rei was quite satisfied at this moment. He had no idea what was happening in the stream outside. At this moment, he was living with his wife and children. Looking at his wife and son, Lin Rei's face was filled with a blissful smile. It's good that you're busy. I've already satisfied you. I don't have any other requests. However, just as Lin Rei was enjoying this kind of life, the scenery in front of him suddenly changed. Palaces lined up one after another. They were actually so majestic that it was shocking. However, the scene at this moment was very suffocating. A middle-aged man was in the air. In front of the middle-aged man stood two women. The two women were in a sorry state. The corners of their mouths, faces, and bodies were stained with blood. Lin Rei knew these two women. They were none other than his wife, Jean Ling. The other person was naturally his subordinate, Bing, who was summoned from the blanket. How can this be? Where is this place? Why does it feel so familiar? But I can't remember where this is. Looking at the scene in front of him, Lin Rei could not help but ask. Me. Why would I say me? The strange way of addressing made Lin Rei even more confused. Sister Jean Ling, are you all right? At this moment, a cry of surprise came from the sky. Ling, you. What's wrong with you? Don't scare me. Being awakened by the cry, the scene in Jean Ling's hand fell into his eyes. Suddenly, Lin Rei did not care about anything else and directly rushed up. However, just as Lin Rei reached out to touch Jean Ling, his hand directly swept across Jean Ling's face. It was as if the Jean Ling in front of him at this moment was an illusion, ethereal and illusory. How could this be? He did not understand why, other than being anxious, Lin Rei could only watch things happen. Looking at the unconscious Jean Ling, Bing was completely enraged. However, seeing Jean Ling like this, Bing did not lose his mind. A pure immortal spirit qi was transmitted into Jean Ling's body. He wanted to use his immortal spirit qi to heal Jean Ling's previous injuries. The immortal spirit qi continued to be transmitted. Soon, Jean Ling's face was not as pale as before. Luckily, the injuries from before did not harm her core. If not, no matter how much immortal spirit qi I have, it would be useless. However, what Bing did not know was that her actions were inadvertently seen by the Heaven and Earth Sect leader who was in the sky. Immediately, an idea appeared in his mind. To catch bandits, first catch the ringleader. Since you all want to resist to the end, don't blame me. Whoosh! Instantly, the Heaven and Earth Sect leader took the initiative. As the leader of a sect, he had some skills. His speed was extremely fast and in an instant, he appeared beside Bing. With a bang, Bing was instantly sent flying by the Heaven and Earth Sect's Heaven and Earth Path. Naturally, Jean Ling was snatched away by Heaven and Earth Path. Things happened too suddenly, and at this moment, Bing's attention was all on Jean Ling. He did not notice Heaven and Earth Path's strange movements at all, which was why he fell into his trap. Pooh! Bing spat out a mouthful of blood as he was sent flying. Instantly, Bing's face turned pale. This did not seem like much, but in reality, Bing was severely injured. Plop, plop. After flying 100 meters, Bing landed on the ground and rolled one round before coming to a stop. You. Looking at Jean Ling who had been snatched away, Bing could only endure. After all, Jean Ling was the backbone of a sect and she was Lin Rei's wife. He could not let her be threatened. Old man, you are the leader of a sect. How could you attack the emperor so shamelessly? How shameful. Bing had no choice. In order to prevent Jean Ling from being threatened, he could only do this. Stop pretending. Lin Rei's wife is in my hands. Tell me, what should you all do? After speaking, Heaven and Earth Sect leader grabbed Jean Ling's neck and used his cultivation to remind the Xuanzong Sect members, all of you, stop. Your sect leader's wife is in my hands. Put down your weapons and I will let you all go. Otherwise, I don't know what will happen. As he spoke, Heaven and Earth Sect leader's hand tightened around Jean Ling's neck. A painful expression flashed across Jean Ling's face, but she did not scream. Bastard, stop it. Stop it right now. Otherwise, I won't be able to make up for the hatred in my heart even if I exterminate your 9 generations. At this moment, Linley, who was watching this scene, couldn't bear it any longer. Seeing his wife being captured by the Tao of Heaven and Earth, how could he, like Montgomery, endure this? However, Lin Rei could not stop all of this. At this moment, he could only let the situation develop without being able to do anything. He raised his head, suppressed the killing intent in his heart, and continued to watch. At this moment, Heaven and Earth Sect leaders' method was still effective. Sure enough, after hearing Heaven and Earth Sect leader's voice, all the Xuanzong Sect disciples stopped their weapons and looked up at Heaven and Earth Sect leader. Everyone's face was full of anger. Quick, let my mother go, or I will kill all of you. Mother? Could he be an? Looking at the young man who suddenly appeared, Lin Rei could not help but take a few more glances. At this moment, Jin En, who was in the crowd, saw that his mother was captured. He was instantly flustered. He rushed up to the sky and roared at the crowd. The killing intent in his eyes was very chilling. Looking at those eyes that could devour people, everyone was stunned. Quick! Quick, quick! Go back, don't worry about me. Looking at her son, Jean Ling instantly panicked. At this moment, her son stood out and was undoubtedly regarded as a target of public criticism. At the heart of the storm, it would be very dangerous. This was not what she, as a mother, wanted to see. However, the more she did not want something to happen, the more it always happened. TSK, Lin Rei's son. Since this is the case, I will kill him first and let all of you know that Heaven and Earth Sect leader is definitely a man of his word. With a whoosh, while everyone was in a daze, a cold light at the speed of light appeared in front of Jin En's chest in an instant. Without any hesitation, it directly pierced through Jin En's body. Ah! Don't! A furious roar came out of Jin Ling's mouth. Unfortunately, it was too late. It was too late. At this moment, there was a hole in Jin En's chest. Blood slowly flowed out from it. Killed. Simple and decisive. Ruthless and dignified. Everyone was dumbfounded. They did not expect Heaven and Earth Sect to be so shameless as to use someone else's wife as a bargaining chip to win. They did not dare to agree with this. Ah! A blood-curdling scream came out from Jin Ling's mouth. Tears flowed from her eyes without any regard for her life. However, these tears were not colorless, but blood-red. Yes, it was blood. Watching her son die in front of her and being powerless to do anything, this was such a heart-wrenching thing. Ah, bastard, you actually want to kill my son. Your sin is unforgivable. You deserve to die 1,000 times. This exalted is going to exterminate you. Generations of men will be enough. Generations of women will become prostitutes. I want your ancestors to suffer this torture for generations. I want you to personally witness your descendants being exterminated because of you. Ah! My son, a hoarse, furious roar came out from Linley's mouth. Seeing his own son die in front of him, as a father, how could he bear it? He was filled with regret. He was filled with hatred. But at this moment, he felt so helpless. On the other side, a painful cry came out from Jin Ling's mouth. Her voice was so cold that it made one's teeth turn cold. Ah! Jin Ling's hoarse voice sent chills down everyone's spine. They even felt as if their bodies were frozen. Their entire bodies were fixed on the spot. Plop, looking at Jin Ling who was choked by the heaven and earth path, Bing's eyes were filled with guilt. He came back to the ground with tears flowing down his face. He said to Jin En, I'm sorry. I'm useless. I couldn't protect young master's comfort. I'm sorry. Bing's actions stunned everyone. They didn't understand, but Jin Ling did understand what Bing meant. Ha. Ha ha ha. She laughed. After hearing Bing's words, Jin Ling laughed. However, no one present wanted to hear such laughter a second time because such laughter made them feel cold all over, especially that bone-chilling cold. It was as cold and heartless as 10,000-year-old ice. Get up. It's not your fault. The fault lies in the fact that these people deserve to be killed, but no one can stop them. I'm laughing because I can't see them being buried with my angry mother and son. I'm laughing because my son is dead, but my Lin family is not without descendants. I'm laughing even more at this group of inhumane bastards. Words that made everyone ashamed came out of Jean Ling's mouth. However, everyone could tell that she was joking because they all knew that when a person said something before they died, 90% of them were true. Especially when they looked at Jean Ling's heartless and cold face, it made everyone feel that what she said was true. All of you, just you wait. Someone will definitely avenge my mother and son. Don't worry, my mother and son will definitely walk very slowly on the 9 nether path. We will wait for you. Crack. Ah. Suddenly, a sound that made one's hair stand on end appeared. After hearing Jean Ling's words, the heaven and earth path directly cut off Jean Ling's hand. This kind of pain appeared on a woman's body. No one would be able to endure it, let alone a woman's. Humph, you're too hot-headed. Didn't you want to say it? Since you want to say it, then you're not allowed to faint. Then, this spiritual energy directly sealed the wound on Jean Ling's arm. In an instant, the wound stopped bleeding, but the pain still eroded Jean Ling's will. Crack. Ah. Before anyone could react, Jean Ling's other arm disappeared and was replaced by blood gushing out. This scene was so bloody that no one dared to look directly at it. There were even some people who were unwilling to see such a scene. They immediately turned around and sealed their hearing. Ah. No, don't. No, don't, you stop, give me an assistant. Rumble, crack, a terrifying energy was brewing in Lin Rei's body. The aura was filled with death, silence, death, and sorrow. As for Linley, who was still standing in place, his eyes were bloodshot and filled with the desire to do battle. His bloodshot eyes stared at the man who had tortured his wife and killed his son. Right now, Linley only had one thought in his mind, and that was to kill. He wanted to kill all those who had threatened his wife. How is this possible? What's going on? In the real world, Kong Shi, who had been feeling smug and pleased with himself, suddenly sensed an aura of annihilation emanating from illusory void. Subconsciously, he looked over, only to see Linley's bloodshot eyes and murderous aura emanating from his entire body. He's possessed? Chapter 982. Husband. Feeling the uneasiness in his heart and the appearance of his wife, Ying was stunned. Tears flowed down his cheeks uncontrollably. Woo! Suddenly, a few dragon roars came from afar. How can this be? This aura is... Master. But, why did Master turn into a demon? Tsang Long, who had survived from an unknown time, immediately thought of turning into a demon when he felt the aura of death and killing intent. Lin Rei would not normally emit such an aura. At this moment, everyone was worried. Their faces and hearts were full of worry for Lin Rei. However, what they did not know was that Lin Rei was currently in the illusion of the illusory space, and the illusion was still going on. Ah. No. The people of the Xuanzong sect saw that their mistress was humiliated by the heaven and earth path. They looked at Jean Ling, who had lost her arms and was in pain. As disciples of the Xuanzong sect, they were powerless in front of the scene in front of them. In their hearts, this was undoubtedly a very big blow. Even if today passed, it would still be an obstacle to their future cultivation. Heaven and earth path, you old bastard. How dare you bully my mistress in there? Aren't you afraid that my sect leader will destroy your entire sect? At this moment, Ying, who had been with Lin Rei for a long time, could not bear it anymore. He immediately said it out loud, pointing at the heaven and earth path and angrily threatening them. Heaven and earth path, you old bastard, just you wait. Even if you kill my Xuanzong sect today, when my sect leader returns, he will exterminate your sect. At this moment, the people of the Xuanzong sect were no longer afraid of death. They only hoped that the heaven and earth path would give Jean Ling a quick death and not torture her like this. Fellow Taoist heaven and earth, we came here today only to destroy the Xuanzong sect. There is no need to do this. Look at Jean Ling, she is a woman. Isn't it against the righteous path and against your conscience to attack her like this? That's right, Taoist brother. You've gone too far. Damn, you should just end Lin Rei's wife. That's right, that's right. Brother Wudi's words make sense. Fellow Taoist Qinkuan, hurry up and kill them. Let's settle this matter first. There's no need to treat them like this. In the distance, Lin Rei quietly watched this scene. He was no longer as angry as before. At this moment, Lin Rei appeared very calm. The people who came with the heaven and earth path could not bear to watch any longer when they saw how cruel he was. Fortunately, they still had quite a lot of faith. After listening to the persuasion of the crowd, the heaven and earth path could only agree. All right, I'll do you a favor today, fellow Taoists. Although he said that, he sneered in his heart. Heh, I've played enough anyway. It's not bad to do you guys a favor. I'll just treat it as making use of trash. Humph, just you wait. Sooner or later, I'll destroy all of you one by one. When that time comes, I'll make all of you beg for death. Although the heaven and earth path's face was full of smiles, his heart was extremely dark. Pft, pft. She was killed. Blood gushed out and fell from the sky like rain. However, when this scene appeared, everyone squinted their eyes. Their pupils constricted and their faces were full of anger. Although the heaven and earth path agreed to kill Jean Ling, they did not say how to do it. However, no one expected the heaven and earth path to be so cruel. Even if she was dead, she did not leave a way out for others. Her head, arms, and legs were all separated. Her death was extremely cruel and unbearable to look at. This scene not only stunned everyone in the Xuanzong sect, but also the various sects that came with the heaven and earth path. They did not expect the heaven and earth path to be so cruel and merciless. They had clearly agreed to give Jean Ling a quick death, but they did not expect this to be the outcome. At this moment, other than the angry voices in the Xuanzong sect, some cultivators stood up to avenge Jean Ling and Jean En. In their hearts, they had already recognized Jean Ling as the mistress of the Xuanzong sect, and Jean En had already become the young sect leader of the Xuanzong sect. Now that two such important people were killed in front of them, how could they bear it? All of you, even if we have to risk our lives today, we will die together with you. Looking at the heaven and earth path, everyone stepped forward bravely, but the result was not satisfactory. Linger, my poor Linger, I finally know how you were killed, and my child. Watching what had just happened, Lin Rei's heart repeated like a movie. It was like a curse engraved in Lin Rei's heart and could not be removed from his mind. I didn't expect that because of my negligence back then, all of you would suffer so much. Tears flowed uncontrollably from his eyes. Well, you can't say that they are tears, because the tears that are flowing now are the color of blood. Linger, don't worry. I will definitely find you. Even if I have to go to the ends of the earth, even if I can't find you, I will still find you. Even if I have to travel to every corner of the world, I will not hesitate. Because of you, and our son. Kacha. It was as if the shackles had been opened. Lin Rei, who was originally full of confusion, seemed to have opened a new door in front of him at this moment, making things that he did not understand suddenly become clear. Rumble, within a radius of 10,000 miles, the spiritual energy rushed uncontrollably into Lin Rei's body. Although Lin Rei was in the illusory space at this moment, this did not affect Lin Rei's absorption of spiritual energy. What? How is this possible? Sensing Lin Rei's strangeness and the strange things happening around him, Kong Shi was stunned. His expression was full of disbelief. Broke through? Dao Fruit Sage, how is this possible? How can he break through in my illusory space? Why is this happening? Seeing Lin Rei break through, Kong Shi was a little panicked. Previously, when Lin Rei was only in the Divine Venerable Realm, he already had such a strong fighting strength. Now that he broke through to the Divine Venerable Realm, his fighting strength was probably, thinking about it, he could not help but shiver. A trace of ruthlessness flashed across his face. No, I can't let him break through like this. If he breaks through, then in the future thinking about it, his expression became determined. Yes, that's it. Even if it will damage my reputation, I will still strangle you in the cradle today. Raising his hand, a series of mysterious runes appeared in his hand. Not good, he's going to harm Lin Rei. In the distance, the heavenly pivot rabbit, who had been observing the situation, saw Kong Shi's action and shouted to the two beside him. What? No. For the sake of her husband, even if she could not defeat him, she had to go forward and fight. Whoa! Suddenly, a dragon roar came from behind, full of anger. Thief, how dare you? Huh? This dragon roar and angry roar attracted the attention of everyone present, but everyone had different expressions. Some were excited, some were agitated, and some were confused and frightened. Of course, Ying and the others were excited and agitated. As for the fear, it came from Kong Shi. Tsang dragon, how could there be such a thing here? How could there be so many inexplicable existences in this small divine world? Fear, at this moment, Kong Shi was very scared. He could feel the wrath of the Tsang dragon, and he could also feel the Tsang dragon's cultivation. Originally, one Tsang dragon was not a big deal. After all, the Tsang dragon's strength was not that high. But now, there were 5 of them. How could he not be shocked? How could he not be afraid? 5 Tsang dragons together, this was not a joke. Even if he boasted that he was strong, he was not confident in facing 5 Tsang dragons. Whoosh! At this moment, the Tsang dragon appeared in front of Kong Shi. Its bell-sized eyes looked at Kong Shi. Its face was full of anger. Quickly, let go of my master, and today's matter will be considered as nothing happened. You can leave. However, if you don't want to, then even if we have to stake our old lives, we will still capture you here. So what if you're a spatial source? Did you really think that you would be able to match the power of 5 dragons by yourself? A threat, a naked threat, but Kong Shi did not know what to say in response to such a threat. Damn, I did not expect Lin Rei to be so powerful. He even has such a thing. Wouldn't it be better if he took it out? Why did he have to make himself look like this? Looking at Lin Rei, the heavenly pivot rabbit curled its lips, but the moment it looked at the Tsang dragon, its eyes were full of fear and vigilance. In the illusion, spiritual energy madly rushed into Lin Rei's body, but at this moment, the blood-red color in Lin Rei's eyes did not fade. Instead, it became more intense. Kill, kill. Kill. Kill, Lin Li spoke in a cold voice. There was no joy, anger, sorrow, or joy on his face. He was extremely calm, so calm that it caused everyone to feel fear. Revenge, revenge. Kill, words came out from Lin Rei's mouth, one by one. At this moment, he did not know that he was breaking through. The Chaos Dragon spear appeared in his hand. He raised his head to look at the surrounding space. His expression was stunned, and he subconsciously began to wave the Chaos Dragon spear in his hand continuously. Powerful battle techniques were displayed in Lin Rei's Chaos Dragon spear, one after another. Nirvana spear art, myriad sword art, martial gods tactics, dragon subduing step, and many other techniques that Lin Rei knew were displayed by Lin Rei at this moment. Boom, rumble. Muffled sounds came out from the illusion space. Kong Shi, as the Lord of the illusion space, sensed the strange movements in the illusion space and went to investigate. Damn, what is this guy doing? Kong Shi was dumbfounded when he saw Lin Rei in the illusion space. Kill. 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 At this moment, Lin Rei was like a sofa machine that did not know exhaustion, bombarding the barrier of the illusion space around him. His hand speed was extremely fast. He did not stop at all. His movements were very smooth. There was not a trace of unfamiliarity. In the system, Little Dragon sensed Lin Rei's current actions. He sighed slightly. Looks like this kid still has not recovered from Jin Ling's death. I did not expect Lin Rei, who has Hongmeng's sovereign body, to be able to enter the demonic state, and even break through in such a state. Hee, interesting. Little Dragon did not have the slightest worry about Lin Rei's current state. It was as if this matter was not a big deal. Rumble, Kacha, under Kong Shi's gaze, Lin Rei waved the Chaos Dragon spear in his hand and bombarded the barrier of the illusion space tirelessly. Finally, under Lin Rei's unremitting efforts, a crack appeared on the barrier of the illusion space. Kacha, under Lin Rei's continuous bombardment, the crack spread out in all directions like a spider web. At this moment, Kong Shi did not sit still and wait for death. He understood that if Lin Rei came out, then his ending was already set. But when he saw the 5 azure dragons in front of him, Kong Shi was stunned. Now it could be said that he was in a dilemma. There was a wolf in front and a tiger behind. If you ride a tiger, it is hard to get off. What should I do? He asked himself in his heart. At this moment, he had no other choice. After all, saving his life was more important. It was not easy to escape from Hongjuan's control. If he really died because of today's matter, it would be too much of a loss. Looking up at the azure dragons, a smile appeared. I will release your master, I will release. With that, a door opened on the other side of the illusion space. You see, I have opened the door. Now can you fulfill your promise? Hearing Kong Shi's words, one of the azure dragons instantly came to the other side of the illusion space. When he saw the door open, a smile appeared on his face. Big brother, there is indeed a door here. If there is no mistake, this should be the exit of the illusion space. When the leader of the azure dragons heard this, his expression became much better. When he looked at the sky, he said coldly, "You're lucky this time. If you're lucky again next time, you won't be able to see me again. Do you know, I know, I understand. As the saying goes, when you meet someone stronger than you can be a grandson at the right time. This is not because you are afraid, but because you want to go further in the future. You can go now." Eager to save his master, he did not want to waste any more time on Kong Shi. He waved his hand and dismissed him. "All right, I understand, everyone, goodbye, Kacha." Boom. Just as Kong Shi was about to leave, the illusion space that was originally the illusion space was completely shattered. Lin Rei's figure appeared in front of everyone. Kill them all, avenge my Ling heir. What? Husband. Master. Everyone turned to look, and in the instant that they saw Linley, all sorts of different voices rang out. But at this moment, Lin Rei did not hear them at all, his blood-red eyes staring at Kong Shi, his killing intent soaring to the sky. Kill you, whoosh, his figure disappeared. This time everyone was stunned, because no one could catch Lin Rei's figure, not even the azure dragons. Kill, a cold voice appeared in front of Kong Shi. The moment Lin Rei's voice sounded, the long spear was swung and rushed towards Kong Shi's heart. At this moment, Lin Rei could be said to have used 200% of his strength, and the strength of Lin Rei after entering the demonic state was not comparable to before. Empty shield, Kacha. The empty shield wanted to block Lin Rei's long spear, but unfortunately, Kong Shi regretted after the long spear fell, because he heard the sound of the empty shield breaking. How is this possible? Chapter 983. At this moment, Lin Rei had completely lost control. He couldn't hear anyone's voice as he directly waved the primal chaos dragon spear in his hand and swept it across Kong Shi's body. This time, Kong Shi couldn't dodge it. Because of shock, because of fear, the inexplicable trembling in his heart caused his body to become sluggish. Bang! A muffled sound resounded in everyone's ears. A black shadow streaked across the sky and was thrown out of the battle range. 1,000 meters away, that figure formed a parabola and fell from the sky in a very sorry state. Bang! Bang! Even so, he didn't stop falling immediately. Instead, he rolled for a few dozen meters again. No one knew if he stopped himself or if he was forcefully stopped. But at least he stopped. At this moment, everyone finally saw the true face of the figure that flew out. Ing, who was originally full of worry, heaved a sigh of relief when everyone saw the black shadow. For no other reason than the fact that the person who had been sent flying was not Linley, but Kong Shi. This guy. Looking at Kong Shi, who was lying 1,000 meters away, Dubhy Rabbit exclaimed. Her eyes involuntarily swept over Lin Ray. At this moment, her impression of Lin Ray was refreshed in her heart. To be able to send a space origin flying as a hierarch realm expert, this was no longer a question of whether Lin Ray was strong or not. This was too shocking. Even if her original body was the slaughter origin, she had never seen such a powerful thing. Heh, this guy can create miracles for us every time. As Lin Ray's clone, it would be a lie to say that he wasn't jealous when he saw how powerful Lin Ray was. But at the same time, Sakura was happy for Lin Ray. However, the current Lin Ray was different from the past. At this moment, his body was surrounded by a shocking killing intent and blood fiend chi. Moreover, his eyes were bloodshot and he looked like he didn't recognize anyone. A beast-like roar came out from Lin Ray's mouth. His face was full of malevolence. Kill. Kill. Whoosh, his figure moved again. This time, Lin Ray's strength was even stronger. His entire body shot towards Kong Shi. His desire to kill was getting stronger and stronger. Bastard! Lying on the ground, Kong Shi felt a sharp pain coming from his abdomen and recovered from his shock. F***ck, again, as soon as he came back to his senses, he felt Lin Ray's sinister aura rushing towards him. At this moment, he couldn't care less about the pain in his body. He now clearly understood how strong Lin Ray was. He suddenly stood up and looked at Lin Ray, who was rushing towards him. Space-time's aura surged, and the power of space appeared. Space-time's spatial blades were like arms under space-time's influence. Woo! Lin Ray growled as a hint of disdain flashed across his eyes. It was as if these empty blades were completely useless to him. However, that was indeed the case. Lin Ray had no intention of dodging the void blades. He brandished the Chaos Dragon Spear in his hand and continued his assault. As for the void blades that were released in the air, they were all blocked and destroyed by Lin Ray's body. How could this be? This guy's physical body, how could it be so powerful? Woo! A low growl entered Kong Shi's ears. He looked up and saw Lin Ray in front of him. That sneer on his face was extremely dazzling. Die! He waved his spear, and the shadows of his spear appeared one after another. Tens of thousands of Chaos Dragon Spear shadows appeared and rushed towards Kong Shi without any hesitation. F***ck, at this moment, Kong Shi didn't have the time to think. Although he understood that this level of strength wasn't enough to kill him, it would still hurt. He used the Void Shield again. However, this time, Kong Shi didn't use one but hundreds of his Void Shield. He didn't believe that he would be defeated by such a thorough defense. Kong Shi's Void Shield was set up in all directions, including Kong Shi's head. Even so, Kong Shi's heart was still beating like a drum. Others might not understand, but he knew very well that Lin Ray was already possessed by the devil. Moreover, he was in the midst of a breakthrough. His aura was at its peak. Kong Shi didn't dare to guarantee that his impregnable defense would be able to hold on. Now, he could only give it a try. There was no other way. The illusory Void Shield was obviously ineffective against Lin Ray. If he wanted to win, he could only rely on his strength. However, he was the space origin. All he knew was the space technique. To be honest, he wasn't a combat type at all. It was only because the space origin could use space to seal things. Therefore, bam! 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 Loud sounds rang out. This time, Lin Ray didn't have the patience from before. He directly rushed forward. At this moment, Lin Ray was only acting instinctively. After all, he was possessed by the devil and didn't think about anything else. Bam! The battle had begun. The two of them exchanged punches and kicks. The battle was very intense. The only thing that could be seen was the afterimages of the two of them colliding. Lin Ray gradually became stronger. The aura of Lin Rei's body also became stronger with the passage of time. The little dragon was very clear about this. Lin Rei was about to break through to the sage realm. Originally, the little dragon wanted to let Lin Rei refine the space origin so that he could advance to the sage realm. He didn't expect that he could gain so much just by fighting with the space origin. This was something that the little dragon didn't expect. However, he was worried. After all, Lin Rei was possessed by the devil. If he continued to develop, no one knew what the final result would be. Perhaps, he wouldn't be able to advance to the sage realm because of this. Now you're worried. Didn't you want to wash your hands of him before? Just when the little dragon felt that the situation was serious, the system's voice rang in the little dragon's ears. The system's words were full of sarcasm. If one listened carefully, they could hear that there was a hint of complaint in the system's words. Yes, it was complaining. After all, it had taken care of Lin Rei for a period of time before. During that time, they got along very well. He wanted to refute, but the system was right. At first, he wanted to wash his hands of him. But now, could he still do it? The answer was, of course, no. After all, the most important thing now was to restore Lin Rei's consciousness and let him enter seclusion to break through to the sage realm. Let's do it. Lin Rei has been tempered enough. The matter in the divine realm can be considered to have come to an end. As long as Lin Rei can break through to the sage realm, he can communicate with the passage to the holy realm at any time. As for other things, let's wait until Lin Rei enters the holy realm. After all, that's his beginning. It's the real beginning of the path he chose. Alas, yes. The little dragon sighed softly. A hint of hesitation appeared on his face. His heart was very complicated. He wanted to let Lin Rei, his friend, enter the holy realm, but he also didn't want to. Because once Lin Rei entered the holy realm, the matter of the Tao would begin. And the system's real test for him would also begin. At this moment, Lin Rei was completely unaware of the conversation between the system and the little dragon. Otherwise, he would definitely fly into a rage. He would point at their noses and curse. Motherf asterisk cur, weren't those things before? Every time you set me up, and now you're telling me that the test has just begun? Are you F asterisk king kidding me? The little dragon was quite confident in Lin Rei's thoughts and character. After all, the two of them had lived together for so long. It would be strange if he didn't know. Chapter 984. Right now, Linley was locked in battle with spacetime. The two of them seemed to have entered a berserk state, and they didn't know exhaustion as they swung the weapons in their hands and clashed against each other. One streak of sparks after another flashed out in a breathtaking manner. This battle could be said to be earth-shattering. The surrounding mountains were all affected, and even the space where the two of them fought began to show signs of cracking. Both of them were unaware of this and were still in a state of frenzied attack. These two are too ruthless. They're already like this and yet they're still not done. Looking at the signs of cracking due to the space, Dubhy Rabbit clicked her tongue and her expression was full of astonishment. It can't be helped. Who asked him to be Lin Rei? Besides. Looking at Lin Rei, Sakura smiled and said, he hasn't had such a battle for a long time. Perhaps this is what he wants. In the system, watching Lin Rei fight more and more fiercely, and his consciousness became more and more blurred. At this moment, the little dragon couldn't sit idly by. He couldn't allow Lin Rei to continue like this because the opportunity to break through the Saint Realm didn't always exist. If he didn't survive this time, he didn't know when the next time would be. Suppress him. A strange aura suddenly emanated from Lin Rei's body. It wasn't only to suppress Lin Rei and restore his consciousness, but more importantly, to suppress Kong Shi. Although he didn't want to get involved in this matter, after all, Lin Rei didn't say anything. Besides, if he let go of such a good whetstone, wouldn't it be a waste of God's gift? As the little dragon who followed Lin Rei, he had always adhered to Lin Rei's principle of not being extravagant and not being wasteful. What's going on? In everyone's eyes, the battle that had entered a white-hot stage suddenly stopped abruptly. Both of them stopped and stood at one side in a daze. No one moved an inch. Why can't my body move? Others didn't know what was going on, but Kong Shi was very clear. Just as he was fighting with Lin Rei, a terrifying energy appeared, and with a crushing force, he was frozen in the air, unable to move. Of course, other than his eyeballs, everything else was immobilized. However, his cultivation was not sealed. Even so, Kong Shi was powerless. Even though he used all of his cultivation and used all of his strength, the final result was, there was no reaction. As for Lin Rei, it was as if he had gone mad. His bloodshot eyes stared at the sky as if he wanted to swallow him alive. You brat, you're always causing trouble for me. In the system, seeing Lin Rei like this, a hint of worry appeared on the little dragon's face. Hee, what you're saying is nonsense. If Lin Rei didn't provoke that person, would he still be Lin Rei? I think so. Thinking about it, along the way with Lin Rei could be said to be causing trouble all the time. In the end, the one who had to clean up after Lin Rei was always him. Alright, hurry up. Awaken Lin Rei's consciousness so that he can quickly break through his cultivation and enter the holy world as soon as possible. He can't learn anything here. The system urged. Got it. Lin Rei impatiently replied to the system's words twice. Then, a complicated rune appeared in the little dragon's hand, and it blasted towards Lin Rei's forehead. Ching Ling, boom. A muffled sound came from Lin Rei's body. The sound was so soft that even Kong Shi, who was very close to Lin Rei, couldn't hear it. Ugh, a low roar came out from Lin Rei's mouth. The murderous aura that was roaming around his body slowly dissipated under Kong Shi's witness. Even the blood in his eyes slowly disappeared, and he finally regained his clarity. Seeing this scene, even killing intent should be able to understand that Lin Rei, who had turned into a demon, had retreated. Huff, Lin Rei let out a long breath, and his heart was filled with lingering fear. At this moment, he had already recovered, and he was very clear about what he had done before. Thinking about what he had done before, he was very shocked. He didn't expect that after he had taken the chaotic heavenly scripture as his own, he would still have an inner demon. Moreover, it was so terrifying. You brat, if you know how to be afraid, then you better behave well in the future. Every time you cause trouble, you hide, and in the end, I have to clean up after you. Really? Little dragon, it's you. Lin Rei understood. After all, if it wasn't for the little dragon, he would probably still become a murderous demon like before. He might even sink deeper and deeper until he was completely consigned to eternal damnation. Nonsense. The little dragon rolled its eyes at Lin Rei, and then its face became serious. Hurry up, let's not talk about this first. Sit down cross-legged and properly feel the opportunity to break through to the sage realm. If you miss this opportunity, it will be a very, very long time before you feel this opportunity again. Pa. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei fiercely slapped his forehead. That's right, I haven't broken through yet. Thinking about this, he didn't say anything. Following Lin Rei's instructions, he sat down cross-legged in the air and began the process of his comprehension. The Tao of heaven and earth, the beginning of all things, the cultivation method of the chaotic heavenly scripture appeared in Lin Rei's mind. The original spirit energy in his body began to undergo a qualitative change as Lin Rei cultivated. It's starting. When the spirit energy reaches the sage realm, it will condense the seed of the Tao fruit. Then, it will be a true Tao fruit sage. Yes, as long as Lin Rei condenses the Tao fruit, it won't be a problem for him to break through to the sage realm. After speaking, the two of them tacitly laughed at the same time. However, they didn't laugh so loudly because of Lin Rei. This is the beginning of the breakthrough? In the outside world, seeing Lin Rei suddenly sit down cross-legged, the originally chaotic laws and spirit energy in the surroundings began to calm down the moment Lin Rei sat down. The heavenly pivot rabbit vaguely felt that the power of heaven and earth in the surroundings was slowly gathering towards Lin Rei. Yes, he broke through. At the side, Tian Ning smiled and nodded. I didn't expect Lin Rei to be able to break through in the middle of a battle. It seems like I have underestimated Lin Rei's aptitude and talent. Tisk tsk, he broke through to the Sage Realm. The happiest people were Sakura and Shadow. It's good that you broke through. This way, you should be able to go to the Holy World. A look of longing flashed in Sakura's eyes. He was looking forward to going to the Holy World. Husband. Seeing that Lin Rei was safe and sound and was about to break through, Shadow and Ice were very happy. As the saying goes, when one is happy, another is sad. Ing and the others were happy, but Kong Shi was crying. No matter how he thought about it, he could not understand why he was unable to enter the passage, but Lin Li was not only fine, he was even making a breakthrough. Thinking of this, Kong Shi felt very depressed. At the same time, a trace of worry surged in his heart. This guy was already so strong before. If he breaks through, then wouldn't I? In fact, Kong Shi's thoughts were not without reason. After all, Lin Rei was a vengeful person. Chapter 985. Thinking was just thinking. Right now, there was nothing he could do. That powerful pressure was preventing him from moving. Although he didn't know where this pressure was coming from, he knew that it definitely had something to do with Lin Li. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to so calmly make his breakthrough. This pressure is at least at the level of Dao integration, but it shouldn't be. Only that old man Hong Jun can do it, but, the more Kong Shi thought about it, the more surprised he was. He couldn't understand why such a force would appear here and help an ultimate god who was like an ant in his eyes. If the little dragon heard Kong Shi's thoughts at this moment, he would probably snort in disdain because in his eyes, Hong Jun was nothing. It was just like Kong Shi's attitude towards Lin Li. In Kong Shi's eyes, Lin Li was no different from an ant. Hong Jun was even more so towards Xiaolong, who was no different from an ant. A middle-aged Taoist was meditating on a cushion in the outer realm of the saint's world. Suddenly, his eyes snapped open, and a wisp of bright light flashed through them. The corners of his mouth curled up into a sneer. Space origin, I didn't expect you to come to such a low-level realm like the divine world. It seems that I have overestimated you. At this moment, Kong Shi would be very surprised to see the middle-aged Taoist again because the middle-aged Taoist was Hong Jun. In front of Hong Jun, a young man stood there respectfully, motionless, and behaved very obediently. Master, since the space origin has been found, I will send someone to capture him and bring him back to you. No. Hong Jun looked at the young man and smiled. I can feel that the slaughter origin is not far from the space origin. I think the two of them should be together. If that's the case, even if you send someone, the result will be a fruitless trip. You should know that if the slaughter origin and the space origin work together, you won't be able to get any benefits even if you go personally. So, no. Since they want to play, let them play outside for a while. Hearing this, a hint of doubt flashed in the young man's eyes. He didn't understand why his master would do this. Oh, you don't have to worry about this matter. I will deal with it later. A reassuring look was given to the young man. The youth was none other than Hao Tian, who had caused Lin Li to lose his sight in the 9 underworlds. Indeed, if Lin Li saw him, he would probably immediately attack and kill him. This youth was none other than Hao Tian, who had caused Lin Li to lose his sight in the 9 underworlds. Yes. Hao Tian understood that since his master had made a decision, this matter was basically decided and there was no chance to change it. Alright, you can go now. I want to. Master, there's one more thing. Just as Hong Jun asked Hao Tian to leave, he finally said something that had been brewing in his heart for a long time. Master, do you remember Xie Feng? Xie Feng. Hearing this name, Hong Jun frowned, and a familiar feeling surged in his heart. Evil Phoenix, this name, sounds familiar. She is. The evil phoenix, the master of the Phoenix clan, was imprisoned by you back then. However, for some reason, it was released some time ago. Seeing that Hong Jun did not know, Hao Tian hurriedly explained. Oh. Master of the Phoenix clan? I didn't think she would be released. A strange look flashed through his eyes. Yes, it was just a while ago. And I can sense that Xia Feng's power is gradually recovering. I believe that before long, perhaps her power will completely recover. When that time comes, she will definitely return to the Saints' world to find you and the Heavenly Court. As Hao Tian's master, Hong Jun naturally knew what he was thinking. Don't worry, Hao Tian. Since I suppressed her back then, I suppressed her. So what if she's free? You're just suppressing her again. Thank you, Master. Joy appeared on his face. Others might not know, but he knew very well that if Hong Jun had not helped him back then, the person who would have been suppressed or even killed in the end would have been him. If that had really been the case, there would not have been a powerful force like the Heavenly Court. It's fine. You can go now. Knowing that the haze in Hao Tian's heart had dissipated, Hong Jun waved his hand to dismiss him. Yes, Master. I'll take my leave. After bowing respectfully to Hong Jun, Hao Tian turned around and left the space. The moment Hao Tian left, Hong Jun, who was originally calm, suddenly became gloomy. A sinister look appeared on his face. I didn't think that Xia Feng would be able to see you again in this life. Back then, you refused to submit to me and caused that incident. At that time, I had no choice but to suppress you. I thought you would disappear in the river of time. I really didn't think that you would be rescued. Should I say that you're lucky or that you're courting death? At this time, Hong Jun was completely different from before. If Hong Jun represented peace and kindness in the past, then Hong Jun now represented killing and evil. But, this is also good. Perhaps it's been a long time. It's not bad to see an old friend once in a while. A cold smile appeared on his face. Then he closed his eyes and fell into a daze. He sat up like a stone statue. Master, what are your orders? Not long after Hong Jun sat down, a man wearing a ghost mask appeared in the air. He came before Hong Jun and knelt down respectfully. Go to the divine realm and find out where the space origin and killing origin are. Oh, right. Also, Xia Feng. Since she escaped, we must invite her up to talk about old times. Only in this way can we understand the attitude of one of my few old friends. Hong Jun did not speak. However, in the ghost mask's ears, Hong Jun seemed to have given him an order. Yes, Master. But, do you want Xia Feng alive or dead? Also, how do I contact you if I find the killing origin and space origin? Whoosh, just as the ghost mask finished speaking. As soon as he arrived, a flag with the 8 trigrams pattern appeared in front of Ghost Face. At the same time, Hong Jun's voice arrived. Universe 8 trigrams pattern. He can manifest my will and find them to activate the 8 trigrams pattern. Then, my will be transmitted back. At that time, I will personally go and greet my old friend. Hearing this, the ghost mask nodded respectfully. Then, he stood up and his figure faded as before. Disobedient. You guys are really disobedient. He sneered in his heart. Those who follow me will prosper and those who oppose me will die. Don't blame me for being ruthless. My origin of balance does not allow anything that threatens my existence. So, the 2 origins in Xia Feng in the divine realm did not know that their traces were naturally discovered. Moreover, Hong Jun even sent people to the divine realm to investigate. At this moment, the 2 origins in Xia Feng were in their own places and doing their own things. Sakura, I say, what is your original body trying to do? Breaking through to the saint realm is not something that can be done overnight. If he continues like this, we won't have to wait here forever, right? Not far from the entrance of the Dragon Clan, it had been 100 years since Lin Rei's breakthrough. For such a long time, everyone had been sitting and waiting for Lin Ray to wake up. However, after such a long time, Lin Ray did not show any signs of waking up. Not only W Rabbit thought so, even Sakura could not bear it anymore. Let's wait a little longer. We have already waited for 100 years. What's more? As he said that, his eyes looked at Kong Shi, who had been motionless for 100 years, and said with vigilance, although I don't know why Kong Shi is like this, Lin Ray is at such a critical juncture. If Kong Shi breaks free, then Lin Ray will be finished. Seeing Sakura like this, W Rabbit, who still wanted to say something, didn't say anything in the end. She understood that no matter what she said, the final result would be the same. The conversation between W Rabbit and Sakura did not seem to be taboo to Kong Shi. Their conversation was completely transmitted to Kong Shi's ears. Regarding this, Kong Shi even had the heart to cry. Big brother, big sister, can you guys stop? Can't you see that I can't move now? Really, slandering me like this, I can sue you guys, you know. Of course, these words were only in Kong Shi's mind because he couldn't speak, let alone move. What the hell is this thing? It's been 100 years, 100 years, even if it's a cultivator releasing his pressure like this, aren't you tired? Even if you aren't tired, your spiritual power won't be able to support it. Why is it that after 100 years, the pressure didn't weaken but instead became more solid? This question had troubled Kong Shi's heart for 100 years, but the final result was that he still couldn't find the answer. As for Lin Ray, Kong Shi had completely given up. Now, he couldn't even protect himself, so why would he care about Lin Ray? It's been 100 years, this kid might not have broken through. In the system, Little Dragon, who had been paying close attention to Lin Ray's state, muttered in his heart. Yes, indeed, it's been 100 years, this kid should break through. The system's voice transmitted into Little Dragon's ears. You bastard, you're not helping me. Do you know how hard I've worked for the past 100 years? I haven't rested for 100 years, and every day I have to use my cultivation to suppress Kong Shi. Do you know how sad it is? With the system's appearance, Little Dragon said unceremoniously. Yes, indeed, you've worked hard, but the benefits you've gained from it are also proportional. Looking at Little Dragon, the system said. In 100 years, your aura didn't weaken, but became more solid. This means that your cultivation has recovered a lot, I'm right. With his words exposed by the system, Little Dragon suddenly panicked and stuttered, unable to speak. Looking at Little Dragon's current state, the system found it very funny. Alright, you'd better keep an eye on Lin Ray. He's in a critical period now, and he's the focus of attention. You can't make any mistakes, you understand. At this moment, the system's words were very serious, and there was no joking at all. In this regard, Little Dragon also became serious. Boom! Suddenly, the yellow starry sky in the outside world suddenly disappeared. It was replaced by dark clouds. It felt as if the world was about to collapse. About to break through? In the system, Little Dragon, who was talking to the system, felt the pressure from the outside world and moved to investigate. When he felt the changes in Lin Ray's body, he was stunned. He broke through, the system can feel it. At this moment, the system spoke. In the outside world, Lin Ray, whose eyes were originally closed, suddenly opened his eyes, and a pair of purple pupils appeared in front of everyone. Deep, mysterious, and attractive, the eyes that made one's soul tremble, as if they were not protected and recognized. The moment the purple pupils appeared, the dark clouds in the sky began to rumble. Break, rumble, a low roar like that of a beast came from Lin Ray's mouth, and along with the low roar, there was a muffled sound in Lin Ray's body. Although it was not very obvious, it was like a thunderbolt in everyone's ears, exploding in their ears. Boom, not good, retreat quickly. In the distance, W Rabbit and the others who were watching from the other side of the river felt a terrifying energy coming from afar, and their expressions changed. They reminded the people around them, and in the next moment, their figures disappeared from the spot. W Rabbit's retreat, and Tian Ning and the others reacted by retreating as well. However, it was a pity that the speed of their retreat was not as fast as that terrifying and violent energy. Bam! 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 Sounds of collision rang out, and Dubhy Rabbit and the others who were retreating lost control of themselves, and their bodies flew backward pathetically. Lin Ray did not know about this. At this moment, Lin Ray was immersed in the joy of breaking through. Ding! Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the Saint Realm in advance and becoming an early-stage Dao Fruit Sage. Ding! The host's information has changed. Name, Lin Ray. Age, 3, 793. System level, 4. Cultivation base, Dao Fruit Sage, early stage. Experience, Xinglong 300100000. Xinglong, spiritual roots, thunder, fire, wood, metal. Chaos. Spiritual roots. Innate talent, Dao Fruit Sage. Great Circle cultivation method, primal chaos. Scripture level 4, incomplete. Devouring heavenly technique, growable. Primordial pill refinement, entry. Cultivation method, cloud formula, emperor level. Cultivation method, same formation. Emperor level. Cultivation method. Tyrant body technique, emperor level. Cultivation method, thunder. Tyrant body, emperor level. Cultivation method, lightning. Scripture, divine level. Cultivation method, martial techniques, butterfly steps, entry level. Stellar finger, proficient. Silent thunder. Spear art, high. Profound level. Martial technique, now at entry level, can produce 3 lightning bolts. Myriad sword art, heaven level. Level 3. Incineration, emperor level. Dragon subduing step, emperor level. Shura spear art, king level. Shura sword formation, king level. Divine transformation, emperor level. Colored glaze, lower saint level. Thousand illusions, lower saint level. Spiritual treasures, chaos dragon spear, supreme grade. Divine artifact, martial emperor. Divine spear, lower saint level. Divine artifact, growable. 10,000 magic sword, ungraded. 10,000 beasts. Treasure furnace, heavenly temple. Upper grade. Immortal artifact, universe. Huayu, lower saint level. Demon subduing sword, lower saint level. Cauldron of heaven and earth, lower saint level. Equipment, flowing light. Supreme grade. Divine artifact. Set mount, mid-stage. God lucky draw wheel, 0 character. Lottery system, 0 times reputation, 0 redemption points. 340,000. Spiritual stones, 0 lower saint level. Alchemist, 1824. Xinglong 10,000. Xinglong, saint level. Array master, 134. Xinglong 10,000, saint level. Weapon forger, 1536. Xinglong 10,000, saint level. Talisman master, 186. Xinglong 10,000, top level. Spiritual herbs, none. Heaven and earth treasures, none. Mission, main mission, enter the holy world in 1,000 years. Side mission, refine the Tong Tian Tower. Pills, 11 mind control pills, 5639 mind control pills. Chapter 986. Holy Dragon? What's that? Looking at his information, the original Torch Dragon and Mythical Dragon had become the current Holy Dragon. Linley didn't quite understand the division of experience. Besides, didn't the system say that there was a change in the information? Damn it, it was just a change in the experience. He rolled his eyes and did not wait for the opportunity to exit the system and return to his body. Ding! Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the Saint Realm. The reward is 50 million redemption points, 50 million reputation points, and a holy weapon, red armillary sash. Ding! As the host has completed the mission of breaking through to the Saint Realm in advance, the host is specially rewarded with a big gift package. Please accept it. Ding! The host has a big gift package. Do you want to accept it? A series of system prompts stunned Lin Ray, especially when he heard that there was a red armillary sash in the reward for breaking through to the Saint Realm. Lin Ray's first reaction was to recall the cartoon Neza that he had watched when he was young on planet Aqua Blue. Wasn't the Neza in his mind the red armillary sash? Of course, Linley was just thinking about it. He didn't think that this was Neza's red armillary sash. After all, according to the realm, Neza's strength was at most at the level of a golden immortal. Ding! Do you want to accept the big gift package? The consideration time is 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, the big gift package will be automatically deleted. 29, 27, damn it. Hearing the system's words, Linley couldn't help but roll his eyes. He didn't expect the system to be so shameless. Didn't you say 30 seconds? If you didn't say 30 seconds, then that's fine. But can't you bring along 27 seconds? After all, time was of the essence and Lin Ray couldn't say anything. Accept, ding. Host has accepted. The big gift package has been placed in the storage. Please check it as soon as possible. Ding. Discovered a big gift package. Do you want to remove it? Damn it. What are you trying to do? Hearing the system's words, Linley was stunned. This was King forcing him to do something. Ding. Discovered a big gift package. Do you want to remove it? The consideration time is 30 seconds. 30. 18. Lin Ray didn't want to comment on the mathematics of the system anymore. Receive. Lin Ray didn't want to waste time talking nonsense. He just wanted to solve this quickly so that he wouldn't have to deal with the system's nagging. Ding. Opening the gift package, please wait for a moment. The system fell silent, and Lin Ray heaved a sigh of relief, because his ears were finally clear. Ding, the big gift package has been opened. Ding, congratulations to host for obtaining a heaven-cleaving sword, a heaven-seeking fruit, and a special gift. Ding. Discovered a special gift. Would the host like to open it? He thought that he would be able to have some peace and quiet, but just as he thought about it, the system started. Dismantle. Ding, alright, please wait a moment host. To be honest, Lin Ray was also quite curious about the special gifts. As for the sky-slicing sword and heaven-seeking fruit, Lin Ray was not interested in them at all. The sky-slicing sword? With his current strength, he could tear a hole in the sky with a raise of his hand. As for the heaven-seeking fruit, he was even less interested. The heaven-seeking fruit wasn't something that could allow one to ascend to the heavens just by eating it. Therefore, Lin Ray wasn't interested in these two items at all. On the contrary, he had opened the gift package before, but this kind of special gift had never appeared before. Time passed little by little, and this time, the dismantling of the special gift took almost 5 minutes. This made Lin Ray more and more curious. What exactly was it that made the system take so much effort to dismantle it? Then, the system's voice sounded. Ding, the special gift has been dismantled. Please check. Ding. Mission, enter the holy world and rise quickly. Create your own sect in the flame domain. Time limit, 30,000 years. What? Create another force? Lin Ray was a little confused. Why did the system always give out such strange and meaningless missions? Oh, by the way, in 30,000 years, the force you create must become a disciple of the holy world and become a scene that thousands of sects worship. Otherwise, the host will have to bear the consequences. At this moment, Lin Ray didn't respond. He was completely helpless against the system giving out such a mission. Lin Ray was completely helpless. But even though he was helpless, he couldn't not accept it. So this made Lin Ray a little difficult. Mao knew that it was difficult to create a sect, and it was even more difficult to create one in the holy world. Moreover, he had to create a scene of thousands of sects worshipping it within 30,000 years. This was beyond Lin Ray's ability. In Lin Ray's opinion, although one person couldn't compare to 10,000 people, he didn't know that these 10,000 people were a burden to Lin Ray. He had to find resources for the sect, impart skills, recruit talents, and manage the sect. Just thinking about it gave Lin Ray a headache, not to mention doing it. Ding, the name of the force is still the Nine Heavens Xuanzong sect. The rule is that it must be in the flame domain. Otherwise, the host will have to bear the consequences. The system's voice sounded again. Lin Ray ignored it. In his heart, Lin Ray had already accepted this mission. Even if he didn't accept it, what could he do? Was he really going to be killed by the system? Impossible. It wasn't easy to get to where he was today. If he was killed because of such a small matter, how wronged would that be? Besides, Lin Rei couldn't let this happen. Wasn't it just creating a sect? Wasn't it just looking for resources? Wasn't it just being worshipped by thousands of sects? Okay, I'll do it for you. 30,000 years? I don't even need 30,000 years to do it for you. 20,000 years at most. His heart was filled with admiration. Ding. Because the host is so emotional, the system has temporarily changed the time from 30,000 years to 20,000 years. I hope the host will do as he says. You, damn, you. Lin Rei was dumbfounded. He didn't expect that he would be tricked by the system just by thinking about it. Ding, warning. If the host insults the system again, the system will punish the host. Please take note. He didn't say anything. This time, Lin Li really didn't want to say anything. He understood that the system's decisions couldn't be changed even if he was the host. The system had its own rules, and it couldn't change them just because of him. Exiting the conversation mode with the system, he looked up and saw the frozen space-time. However, at this moment, Kong Shi's eyes were filled with tears. His expression made Lin Rei stunned. Motherf asterisk Ker, what's going on? I haven't seen space-time for a while, and now it's like this? Lin Rei thought to himself as he looked at space-time. Motherf asterisk Ker, you finally woke up. A sudden, angry roar pulled Lin Li back to reality. What's wrong? Unconsciously, Lin Li blurted out. What should I do? Do you know that I've been trapped here ever since you started cultivating? Even if my cultivation is strong, I can't just stand here and do nothing for 100 years. You know as well. Even cultivators will feel tired. Besides, this is nothing. The key is that I can't even cultivate. What's wrong with me? Hearing Kong Shi's complaints, it made sense. Not being able to cultivate and just standing here for 100 years, no, 100 years? Have I been cultivating for 100 years? Nonsense. Kong Shi was speechless at Lin Rei's silly question. Sure enough, time flies. Cultivation knows no time. I didn't expect to use 100 years to break through just one level. It seems like becoming the number one in the holy world within 20,000 years is a difficult task. Fortunately, Lin Rei didn't say this out loud. Otherwise, Kong Shi would have sneered. One had to know that becoming the number one in the holy world wasn't just a matter of words. After all, there was still Hong Jun. Although Hong Jun had reached the Dao integration stage, he was still a member of the holy world and held the position of a guardian. To become the number one in the holy world, one had to defeat him first. Can you let me go now? Seeing that Lin Rei didn't say anything, Kong Shi asked directly. Huh? Let you go? Raising his head, he looked at Kong Shi with a puzzled gaze. Yes, what are you going to do to me if you don't let me go? Looking at Lin Rei, Kong Shi said, besides, it's useless for you to keep me. With your current strength, even if you devour me, it won't be much of a problem. So, let me go. Maybe we can even become friends. Hee, you're thinking too much. Lin Rei didn't argue with Kong Shi. Just as Kong Shi said, he was now a sage. Even if he devoured Kong Shi, it wouldn't be of any use. However, Lin Rei didn't think so. Just a moment ago, a perfect idea appeared in Lin Rei's mind. A strange smile appeared on his face as he stared at Kong Shi. It was obvious that he was up to no good. You. What are you trying to do? Nothing much. I just suddenly thought of bringing you to the holy world. Then, I can accompany the emperor to kill all the sections. How is it? This idea isn't bad, right? Kong Shi didn't reply and didn't say anything. He turned his head away as if he didn't hear anything. What do you mean? Isn't it good to give you a chance to escape your current situation? Lin Rei asked. No. You can do whatever you want, but I'm not going to the holy world. Kong Shi rejected without any hesitation. Isn't the holy world good? No. Don't waste your breath. Don't even think about it if you want me to go to the holy world with you. Really? Nonsense. Do you think it's fake? Just as the two were talking, the heavenly pivot rabbit and the others arrived. Lin Rei and Kong Shi's conversation entered everyone's ears without missing a word. Heh, Kong Shi, I didn't expect you to be so timid after not seeing you for so long. This doesn't seem like it. Suddenly, the heavenly pivot rabbit broke Lin Rei's awkward situation. Hearing this, Kong Shi turned his head to look at the heavenly pivot rabbit. Looking at the rabbit, Kong Shi was stunned and asked doubtfully, "Who are you? Do you know me?" Black lines flashed across the heavenly pivot rabbit's forehead and she said unhappily, "Damn you. How long has it been and you've already forgotten about me? Do you want to die?" The heavenly pivot rabbit's sudden outburst stunned Lin Rei and the others. They didn't expect the heavenly pivot rabbit to be so fierce. "Me? You are." Suddenly, Kong Shi thought of something and stared at the heavenly pivot rabbit with wide eyes. His mouth was wide open as if he had seen something inconceivable. Seeing Kong Shi's reaction, the heavenly pivot rabbit raised her head proudly and said, "What? You recognize me now? Damn it. So your true form is a rabbit. I was wondering why you didn't show your true form in front of me in the past. Aren't you a little too small?" Wahahaha. Kong Shi's laughter entered the heavenly pivot rabbit's ears. The heavenly pivot rabbit's smile suddenly turned gloomy. "Ha ha ha. What's so funny? Isn't it just my appearance? You know that I'm not a skin bag. Even so, do you dare to touch me?" Hee. Seeing the conversation between Kong Shi and the heavenly pivot rabbit, Lin Rei laughed dryly and said, "All right, now is not the time to talk about this." He interrupted their conversation and looked at Kong Shi before continuing, "Just like I said before, if I let you go, you have to come with me to the saint's world. I know you're being hunted down by Hongjun many times like the Dubhy rabbit. Don't worry. With me around, Hongjun can't touch you. I'm sure you can feel how strong the pressure on you is. Do you think Hongjun is stronger or the person who released the pressure is stronger?" Lin Rei also wanted to know the answer to this question. However, he didn't know Hongjun's strength, but Kong Shi did. By asking this question, he could know the strength of the system and also indirectly subdue Kong Shi. Why not kill two birds with one stone? What af * king thief. I didn't expect him to use my pressure to subdue Kong Shi. Really? In the system, hearing Lin Rei's words, the little dragon smiled bitterly. "But why do I see your shadow in him?" The system said. Bullsh * t. Since when was I as shameless as him? At this point, the originally loud voice became slightly weaker when it heard the word shameless. "Tsk, don't you know what kind of person you are? Just know it in your heart. Why do you have to say it out loud?" After saying that, the system shut up and didn't say anything. The little dragon's face turned green and red. In the outside world, hearing Lin Rei's words, Kong Shi fell into deep thought. He was thinking about what Lin Rei said just now and thinking about the direction of the future. How about it? I can tell you that as long as you go to the holy world with me, I can guarantee that you will regain your freedom and not be hunted down by Hongjun, just like Dubhy Rabbit. Go to the holy world with me and I can guarantee your safety for the rest of your life. How about it? Lin Rei asked again. This time, he even brought up Dubhy Rabbit because in his opinion, Dubhy Rabbit was almost guaranteed to go to the holy world. After all, with the efforts of Sakura and Tian Ning, he believed that he could make Dubhy Rabbit join them. To be honest, Kong Shi was tempted. Between the holy world and the holy world, Kong Shi's first choice was the holy world. However, he came to the holy world because he needed Hongjun. But now, an opportunity to enter the holy world without worrying about Hongjun was in front of him. It would be a lie to say that he wasn't tempted. Chapter 987. How about it? Do you want to give me a straightforward answer? This time, Lin Rei was also anxious. There were very few people in this world who were as talented as Kong Shi. The most important thing was that he was formed from the power of origin. His future path would be even smoother. If he could take him for his own use, wouldn't his future path be much smoother? Agree. Although I don't really want to admit that Lin Rei is talking nonsense, what he said is true. Think about what happened during this time. Is there anything normal? Just when everyone was silent, Dubhy Rabbit opened her mouth. What was even more strange was that she was actually speaking up for Linley. This made Indra, who was standing at the side, to look on in a daze. Di Shi Tian couldn't believe it. After all, he had been saying that Lin Rei was not good before. He was very disgusted with Lin Rei. But now, she was trying to persuade Kong Shi for Lin Rei. How could Di Shi Tian not be suspicious? What the hell are you doing? Didn't you dislike Lin Rei very much before? Why are you speaking for Lin Rei now? Di Shi Tian looked at Dubhy Rabbit and transmitted his voice. For Di Shi Tian's transmission, Dubhy Rabbit ignored it. Her eyes stared at Kong Shi and continued, I believe you will make the right decision, and, with that, a sneer appeared on Dubhy Rabbit's face, and you don't want to stay in this low-level plane all the time. As a power of origin, your strength should be very strong. If it weren't for Hong Jun, your strength wouldn't have decreased so much. And you are now in the recovery period. Without the help of high-level spirit energy, the power you condense in the end is at most a joke. Vulnerable. The heavenly pivot rabbit understood Kong Shi's thoughts very well. Not only that, but it also thought the same. After all, no one would be willing to stay in such a low-level plane, especially when they were in the midst of recovery like they were. Sure enough, being poked by the heavenly pivot rabbit, Kong Shi was stunned. Just as he was about to speak, he found that the words on the tip of his tongue could not come out. It was not that he did not want to, but what the heavenly pivot rabbit said was very true. He longed to return to his peak, but the power of the God realm was not enough for him. However, the holy world had Hong Jun, so he had to compromise. Now that there was such a good opportunity in front of him, wouldn't it be a waste if he didn't agree? As he thought about that, he smiled. He looked at Lin Rei and said, All right, I agree. I'll follow you back to the saints' world with you. Ha ha ha, that's great. Hearing this, Lin Rei laughed out loud, his face full of joy. Although there had been some small unhappiness before, it was understandable that he was able to subdue such a strong cultivator. Moreover, Lin Rei still had to thank Kong Shi. Because of him, he was able to see his dead wife and son. Although the scene changed a lot, at least he saw it. The knot in his heart was untied. Only then would he have the chance to break through to the saints' world. Otherwise, if he wanted to break through, he would have to swallow Kong Shi and refine him to become a saint. You've made the right choice. You will definitely rejoice in the choice you made today, said Lin Rei. I hope so. On the other side, Shuel Yen, who was in the stream, kept staring at Lin Rei. When he saw the great Kong Shi following a human, he was shocked. However, he did not understand that the power suppressing Kong Shi had exceeded the power of the saints' world. So, damn it, what kind of ability does this kid have to make the origin submit? The more I look at it, the more it seems like a joke. Looking at Lin Rei's direction, Shuel Yen's face was filled with jealousy. After all, no one wanted to see the other party being so strong. He especially wanted to be the one to succeed. Roar, in the sky, the azure dragon roared angrily when he sensed Shuel Yen's emotions. What are you doing? I'm warning you. My master will be above the world in the future. He will be in existence at the peak of Tao. If you have any bad thoughts, I advise you to put them away. Otherwise, all of a sudden, the dragon power of the 4 azure dragons was released and suppressed Shuel Yen. Splash! Shuel Yen was caught off guard. The moment the azure dragon's aura arrived, Shuel Yen was pressed into the water. He looked very miserable. Damn it, what are you doing? Are you trying to kill me? Struggling out of the water, Shuel Yen raised his head and shouted angrily. No, now is not the time. Master didn't give the order, so you won't die. This is just a lesson for you. Don't have any improper thoughts about my master in the future. Do you understand? Understood. Shuai-Yen thought Shuai-Yen would fight back fiercely, but he didn't expect Shuai-Yen to admit defeat in the end. Since that's the case, why don't you hurry up and finish the mission my master gave you? Alright, I'll go right away. With that, Shuai-Yen dived into the water and continued to capture the dragon race. Lin Rei was completely unaware of this scene. At this moment, Lin Rei was in the midst of the excitement of subduing a powerful expert. As the saying goes, when one is happy, others are sad. Lin Rei was happy, but the dragon race's nameless dragon wasn't. Although he wanted Lin Rei to win the war, he didn't want Lin Rei to subdue such a powerful subordinate. As the leader of the dragon race, he didn't want to see a human being so powerful. Perhaps it was because psychology had to be awesome, but to him, this was a humiliation. A humiliation that he wasn't as strong as a human. Are you done laughing? Suddenly, Kong Shi spoke. What's wrong? Shuai-Yen asked curiously. If you're done laughing, let me go. I forgot. With a thought, he entered the system and said, Little dragon, quickly remove the pressure on Kong Shi. He's one of us now. As he said that, he couldn't hold back the smile on his face. The corners of his mouth were curled up even more than usual. One could tell how Lin Rei was feeling right now. Looking at Lin Rei, the little dragon rolled his eyes and nodded, You brat, now you know how to use me. You can even use my pressure to make a fuss. You. Not bad. This. Hearing the little dragon's words, Lin Rei didn't see a trace of anger on his face. Only then did he let out a sigh of relief. I know, I won't do it again. Besides, the system's things are too useless. 20,000 years. Do you think 20,000 years is enough to achieve the scene of thousands of sects worshipping? I don't think it's possible. You have to know that the holy world is filled with experts. In such a dog-eat-dog world, it's very difficult to achieve true strength. Lin Rei's words made the little dragon silent. Lin Rei was right. If the celestial realm was already like this, what would the holy world be like? Lin Rei didn't think that the holy world was better than the celestial realm. On the contrary, Lin Rei thought that the celestial realm was worse than the celestial realm. Alright, let's not think about these things for now. The most important thing now is to release Kong Shi. After a long time, the space was silent. Finally, Lin Rei couldn't take it anymore and quickly broke the silence. Okay. The little dragon was pulled back to reality. He nodded and waved his hand. The pressure that had been suppressing Kong Shi was suddenly withdrawn. In the outside world, Kong Shi's pressure was suddenly withdrawn. Without any preparation, Kong Shi directly fell from the sky. His speed was shocking. Moreover, Kong Shi was imprisoned for a long time and didn't react in time. He just let his body fall. F***ck, what is this guy doing? Is he experiencing the wind, or is there no space? I think, he doesn't seem to be in the situation you guys are talking about. Maybe because he was imprisoned for a long time, he can't use his cultivation. As soon as the Dubhy rabbit said that, everyone's expression changed. Their faces were filled with nervousness. Whoosh! The sound of something breaking through the air was heard. Lin Rei, who was originally in a daze, disappeared. When he reappeared, he was already at Kong Shi's side and hugged him in his arms. I said you can't do it. Didn't you just get imprisoned for 100 years? You can't even use your cultivation. You're really useless. Kong Shi wanted to cry but no tears came out. He roared in his heart, You think I want to? If it wasn't for the strength of the person who suppressed me, would I be imprisoned to this extent? If it wasn't for 100 years, would I be like this? You still have the nerve to talk about me? Why don't you talk about how shameless the person who suppressed me is? Of course, Kongsher only thought about it in his heart. He didn't dare to say it out loud. If the person who suppressed him heard it, who knew what would happen? Maybe the other party would be unhappy and suppress him forever. Then, wouldn't that be tragic? Alright, hurry up and recover. Run to the south gate and leave this place. Since we've achieved our goal, there's no need to stay here. As he said that, he landed on the ground with Kongsher. He casually threw a dozen bottles of high-grade elixirs to Kongsher and left. Protect Kongsher. Looking at the 5 azure dragons above his head, Lin Rei ordered. Roar. We understand. Upon receiving the order, the 5 azure dragons circled around Kongsher to protect him. Kongsher was stunned by the appearance of the azure dragons. He quickly recovered. Thinking of Lin Rei's means, subduing a few azure dragons wasn't a big deal. At this moment, Kongsher was relieved. He opened the bottle of elixirs and felt the grade of the elixirs. Kongsher was shocked again. Supreme grade honorable realm elixirs. Some of them were even at the half-saint realm. They actually appeared in the divine world. On the other side, Lin Rei left Kongsher and flashed to Ying and the others. Looking at the two of them, Lin Rei gave them a reassuring look. Let's go. Accompany me to see the blood Qilin. We'll leave after we're done here. As he spoke, without waiting for anyone to respond, Lin Li took a step forward, disappearing from everyone's sight. Ying and Bing looked at each other and smiled. Then, they followed after him. Master, you're here. The 4 azure dragons guarding the blood lotus felt Lin Rei's approach. They turned to look at Lin Rei and bowed their heads respectfully. Yes, you've done very well. Looking at the 4 azure dragons, Lin Rei smiled. Then, he shifted his gaze to Shuel Yen, who was trying to catch the dragonfish in the water. I'll give you a chance. Submit to me and I can help you rise up the Qilin clan. Let the Qilin clan appear before everyone again. I can even make the Qilin clan a peak race in the Saints' world. This was the condition Lin Rei gave Shuel Yen. Although it was a little difficult for him right now, his mission was to become the strongest in the Saints' world. As for the Qilin matter, it was just a matter of convenience. This way, he could have one more powerful cultivator supporting him. Why not? Heh. Who do you think you are? With a splash, Shuel Yen stopped swimming in the water and emerged from the water. Her face was filled with mockery and disdain. It was as if she was not optimistic about Lin Rei's condition. She even felt that he was boasting. After all, it was impossible for the Qilin clan to rise up in the Saints' world because of Hong Jun. It was exactly because of Hong Jun that his Qilin clan had fallen to such a state. Shuel Yen understood Hong Jun's strength very well, so she obviously did not believe Lin Rei. She did not believe Lin Rei could defeat Hong Jun. Lin Rei chuckled gently. He understood Shuel Yen's estimation and knew what she was thinking right now. He knew that Shuel Yen believed he could not defeat Hong Jun, so he was unwilling to take the risk. However, the more that was the case, the more Lin Rei wanted to prove his strength. He wanted to prove that while Hong Jun was powerful in his eyes, catching up to him or even surpassing him was only a matter of time. Looking at Shuel Yen, Lin Rei smiled gently. Whether you believe me or not, you must yield today. I think you don't have much of your Qilin bloodline left. If you don't agree, I will use everything I have to wipe out all the Qilins in the world. I will wipe out your Qilin clan. Of course, you can choose not to believe me, but don't underestimate the determination of a person, especially the Emperor. The Emperor is a man of his words. A cold, desolate look flashed through Lin Li's eyes. His killing intent soared to the heavens, causing one's blood to run cold. Shuel Yen's face changed when she heard Lin Rei's words. Although she did not care about anything else, she still cared about the extinction of her clan very much. After all, the Qilin clan was a powerful clan that had fallen from the ancient world. However, due to some unforeseen circumstances, they had become rare or even extinct. If it really was as Lin Rei had said, the consequences would be unthinkable. In particular, she dared not take the risk against a mysterious young man like Lin Rei. She struggled inside. She did not want to be controlled by someone else, but for her clansmen, she nodded in the end. All right, I agree, but you have to protect my clansmen. You can't let them suffer any harm, or I'll kill you even if I have to go to the ends of the earth. Even if I die in the end, I won't hesitate. If you don't believe me, you're welcome to try me. Let's see if I dare or not. Hee hee. A smile appeared on Shuel Yan's face when he saw Shuel Yan agree. He nodded without any hesitation, don't worry. The Emperor will definitely abide by his words. Since he said he would help your clan gain a foothold in the Saints' world, he will definitely do his best. Chapter 988. Blood Lotus didn't reply. He felt that what Lin Rei said was unrealistic. What he wanted to do the most right now was to get out of the water. He had been in the water for a few days now. If he stayed any longer, he might be crippled. Moreover, he would probably be traumatized by the water, especially when it came to catching fish. Perhaps, he would take a detour whenever he saw anything related to fish in the future. With that thought, Blood Lotus swam to the shore. He didn't want to stay in the water for a moment longer. He was too proud. What are you doing? Seeing Blood Lotus's actions, Lin Rei frowned and looked puzzled. What else can I do? Of course I'm going out. Otherwise, why would I stay in the water? Blood Lotus rolled his eyes in response to Lin Rei's question. However, as soon as he said that, Lin Rei's words made Blood Lotus's body stop moving in the water. Who said you could get up? Blood Lotus was stunned. Then, he said, I'm not following you anymore. Yes, but, what does this have to do with you coming out of the water? *CK, what do you mean? Blood Lotus didn't understand. At the same time, he had a bad premonition. He thought of a possibility that he didn't want to hear or encounter. Looking at Blood Lotus, Lin Rei blurted out without thinking. You submitted to me because I am strong enough and I didn't wipe out your previous crimes. So, submitting to me is one thing, catching fish in the water is another. Moreover, you were the one who didn't mention your conditions. You're blaming me. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Blood Lotus was speechless. He didn't expect Lin Rei to play this trick on him. Hee hee. Lin Rei turned around and revealed a sly smile. Then, he said, all right, come out after 2 more days of catching fish. *CK. Blood Lotus snorted in his heart. Then, he unwillingly dived into the water and started catching fish. Not long after, the 2 arowana were caught by Blood Lotus. At this moment, Blood Lotus was finally freed and successfully escaped from the water. As for the 4 dragons that were guarding the Blood Lotus, they returned to the Chaos Dragon Spear as soon as the Blood Lotus walked out of the stream. That night, Linley cooked a table full of dishes, all for the sake of celebrating the fact that he had subdued Sky Shi and the blood-colored Qilin, 2 powerful helpers. As for Kong Shi, he only returned after Lin Rei had finished preparing dinner. The 5 azure dragons that were guarding him also obediently entered the Chaos Dragon Spear. Lin Rei was extremely happy as he looked at his 2 new friends at the dining table. After all, things had become much easier after entering the Saints' world. Come, I'm happy that Kong Shi and Shuel Yan have joined my Xuanzong sect. With them joining us, I believe that we won't have to worry about expanding our territory after we enter the Holy World. Everyone was speechless. Of course, Blood Lotus and Kong Shi were the most helpless. They didn't expect Lin Rei to do all this just to expand his territory in the Saints' world. One had to know that the structure of the Saints' world had already been formed. It would be extremely difficult to enter it successfully. With a gulp, he raised his head and drank the wine. The smile on his face couldn't be wiped off. She felt much better when she saw the smile on her husband's face. After all, it was rare to see Lin Rei like this. Come, second cup. Before anyone could react, Lin Rei raised his second cup and said, "I'm sure everyone knows why I'm here this time." Everyone shifted their gaze to Kong Shi. The blood Qilan's eyes were filled with hatred. Actually, it made sense. If it weren't for Kong Shi, why would Lin Rei come to the Xianming Valley? If he didn't come here, he wouldn't have encountered the blood Qilan. If it weren't for all these things, he wouldn't have stayed in the water for so many days. In the end, it was all because of Kong Shi. Ugh. Looking at everyone's gaze, Kong Shi smiled awkwardly and turned his head away, ignoring everyone. I came here for Kong Shi. Although it was unexpected that I broke through to the Saint Realm, it's still a pleasant surprise. If not for that, I wouldn't have broken through so quickly. With a gulp, another cup of wine was poured. Then, a third cup was served. The third cup is nothing. Let's get along well. We'll be a family in the future and support each other without any distinction. With a gulp, the third cup of wine was poured. Then, he sat down and invited everyone to eat. This meal was eaten very quickly. After the meal, everyone dispersed. As the saying goes, everyone went back to their respective homes to look for their mothers. Shuai Yan returned to his original cave residence. As for Kong Shi, he opened up a space and went in. Sakura, Tian Ning, Dubhe Rabbit, and the others also left the back mountain. As for Nameless Dragon, he stood far away and watched the actions of Lin Rei and the others. Seeing Lin Rei eating and drinking with the people he fought before made him feel uncomfortable. But even though he felt uncomfortable, there was nothing he could do. It could only be because his cultivation was not strong enough. Ying and Bing stayed by Lin Rei's side to protect him. As for Lin Rei, he had already entered the system space and arrived at the space where the little dragon was. "You're here." Just as Lin Rei stepped into the space, the little dragon who was meditating on the lake suddenly opened his eyes and looked at Lin Rei. I'm here. Sit." With a wave of his hand, a futon appeared not far away. Lin Rei nodded and sat on the futon that the little dragon had prepared for him. Then, the two looked at each other without saying anything. No one knew what he was thinking. This state lasted for a long time. Finally, Lin Rei opened his mouth. "I broke through to the Saint Realm. What should I do next? Enter the Holy Realm? Or?" Regarding his own arrangements, the most important thing was to ask the little dragon. After all, he had the system and the bloodline. He did not dare to make his own decisions. If something went wrong, the losses would outweigh the gains. Raising his head and looking at Lin Rei, the little dragon smiled and said, "This is your decision. Your path must be chosen by you. I can't do anything about it." Lin Rei, however, although I can't give you a choice, haven't you noticed that the cultivation in your body is not too stable? And, during this period of time, the blood aura and murderous aura that you have stabilized has grown again. Hearing this, Lin Rei fell into silence. He understood what the little dragon said. Because of the illusory dragon in the sky, the blood aura and murderous aura that he had restrained to the extreme had gone out of control again. This time, it was even more serious and had directly caused him to fall into the demonic path. One had to know that the chaotic heavenly scripture was very powerful. When he was cultivating it, the little dragon had already said that this kind of cultivation method would not cause him to fall into the demonic path. However, the final result was that the murderous aura and blood aura were so strong that even the chaotic heavenly scripture could not be controlled. This could be said to be a warning, or a warning to try. Then, suddenly, an idea appeared in his mind. He had thought of this idea long ago, but because there were too many things to do, he had neglected it. Now that he had broken through to the Saint Realm, it could be said that there was nothing else to do in the Divine Realm. Thinking of that matter, a smile appeared on his face. He raised his head to look at the little dragon and was about to ask. "You don't need to ask me. Since you have decided, just do it. In any case, you still have 200 or 300 years to squander. Remember, restrain the murderous aura and blood aura in your body. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you to cultivate the chaotic heavenly scripture in the future. Understood. Since the little dragon had said so, there was nothing for him to worry about. 200 or 300 years was enough. Okay, you should hurry up and leave. Don't bother me during this period of time. I also want to start cultivating. I want to recover my strength as soon as possible. Thinking of how Lin Rei was going to enter the holy world so soon, he had no choice but to speed up the recovery of his cultivation because there was a powerful enemy waiting for his arrival. Okay. I understand. After answering the little dragon, Lin Rei exited the system. After returning to reality, he opened his eyes and looked at his wives who were guarding him. A trace of guilt appeared in Lin Rei's eyes. However, this guilt came and went quickly because he was about to resolve the source of the guilt in his heart. Raising his head to look at his wives, Lin Rei slowly spoke of the decision in his heart. I have already broken through to Sage Realm. However, due to the murderous aura and blood aura, I am temporarily unable to enter the holy world. Ah. Then what should we do? Is there any way to resolve this? That's right. Husband, is there any way to resolve this? Hearing Lin Rei's words, the two women's faces were suddenly filled with anxiety. Their expressions were filled with worry. Yes, there is. Ah. What is it? Live a peaceful life. Use this peaceful life to wash away the murderous aura and blood aura in your heart. At this point, a smile appeared on his face. He continued, so, I have decided that for the next 200 or 300 years, I will temporarily bring you two to live in seclusion. We will find a small village and let you two live a life of plowing and weaving. What do you think, is that okay? Really? They responded with a trace of doubt. It was not that they did not believe it, but they felt that it was impossible because in their eyes, their husband was either cultivating or on the path of cultivation. Seclusion? Oh, impossible. Lin Rei noticed the look of expectation on their faces and immediately nodded. Yes, you can also understand this as a kind of cultivation. After all, this will allow me to suppress the murderous aura and blood aura in my heart. That's great. After receiving Lin Rei's confirmation, Ying and Bing directly jumped up without caring about their image. Their faces were filled with happy smiles. They were like children who had obtained their favorite things. Looking at the smiles on his wives' faces, Lin Rei sighed in his heart. It seems that I will have to bring them out more in the future. Since they followed me, they have not lived a happy and carefree life like girls. Thinking back to the time he had spent with Ying and Bing, except for cultivation and battle, there was no joy between husband and wife. It's been hard on you too. Looking at his wives, Lin Rei sighed in his heart. What are you so happy about? Just when the two women were happy that their husband could accompany them, Sakura's voice suddenly came. En? Why are you here? Didn't you go to accompany Tian Ning and Dubhy Rabbit? Turning his head, Lin Rei frowned when he saw Sakura's figure. That's right, why are you here? Looking at Sakura, Ying and Ning also hurriedly chased after him and asked. Alas. They went to rest. I have nothing to do so I came to your place. Seeing everyone's gaze, Sakura was embarrassed. F***ck, big brother, I'm afraid you didn't bring your face out. Hearing this reason, Lin Rei just wanted to slap him to death. You really have the nerve to say that. You are embarrassed to accompany them, but you have the nerve to come to my place? Don't you know that my place is not a place for you to stay? Of course, Lin Rei naturally would not say such words. Hee, bye, that wine of yours, no more. Not waiting for Sakura to finish his words, Lin Li directly refused. He knew Sakura's alcohol tolerance. This mother of asterisk cur was a person who couldn't get drunk. So what if he had more wine? Moreover, he really didn't have much wine left. Don't be like this. Give me another 50 bottles. No, 100 bottles. I promise that after this time, I will never ask you for wine again. In order to prove to Lin Rei, Sakura pretended to raise 4 fingers on his left hand and swore. F***ck, this is AF** King Rogue. Looking at Sakura like this, Lin Rei really regretted letting him stay at Dubhy Rabbit's place. This F** King guy just happened to be alone, but now he became like this. Husband, give it to him. At this time, Ing gently pulled Lin Rei's sleeve and said softly. What? Lin Rei was puzzled by his wife's action. Husband, quickly give it to him. Otherwise, he will not stop here. Didn't you say you are going to live in seclusion? You are not going to take Sakura and the others with you, are you? Hearing this, Linley's heart skipped a beat. F***ck, you're right. If Shadow hadn't warned me in time, I probably wouldn't have been able to go into seclusion even if I wanted to. Even if I did go into seclusion, the way I went into seclusion would be very different from before. Thinking of this, he decisively took out 100 bottles of Mao Tai and put them in his storage ring. He gave them to Sakura and told him to leave. Watching Indra's departing figure, Linley let out a long sigh of relief only after he had disappeared. Sexy, you reminded me. Otherwise, I am afraid we will not be able to get rid of Sakura and Dubhy Rabbit. Hee, so, are we going to sneak away now? With a smile, he looked at Lin Rei. Yes, let's go. But before we go, I need to say something to Kong Shi and the Blood Kirin. After that, his body disappeared. 10 minutes later, Lin Rei's body returned. He didn't stay any longer. He took Ing, and left Dragon. They left Xianming Valley and went to find their ideal place. As for Lin Rei's departure, Sakura and the Dubhy Rabbit had no idea. At this moment, the Dubhy Rabbit and Tian Ning were still asleep. As for Sakura, needless to say, he had just gotten 100 bottles of Mao Tai from Lin Rei. He had to drink his fill. Chapter 989. In the western region, rows of wooden houses were built at the foot of the Yellow Cloud Mountain. Smoke rose from the chimneys and the laughter of the villagers was endless. At noon, no matter if it was men or women, old or young, everyone had already returned to the village. Some gathered together to chat about their dreams while some sat together to chat about which family they had seen before, which family's young man had not married yet, or which family's young lady had not married yet. The scene was extremely harmonious and warm, especially the scenery of the Yellow Cloud Mountain. It could be said to be a paradise. The spirit energy was dense and it was surrounded by mountains. However, such a scene was very strange. Normally, if there were not demonic beasts in such a place, there would at least be wild beasts harassing them. However, no matter how hard they tried, they could not see any demonic beasts in the Yellow Cloud village. At this moment, at the foot of the Yellow Cloud Mountain, when everyone in the Yellow Cloud village was eating and chatting, their village welcomed 3 people. At this moment, at the entrance of the Yellow Cloud village, a man and 2 women were wearing cotton clothes. The man was handsome and had an ethereal feeling about him. The 2 women were also so beautiful that it was suffocating. Even if they wore cotton clothes, it could not hide their beauty. The 3 of them stood at the entrance of the village and raised their heads to look at the 3 words written above their heads. A smile appeared on the man's face. He curled his lips and said in a clear voice, "Yellow Cloud Village. I heard that the villagers of this Yellow Cloud village are simple and honest. They do not close their doors at night. The entire village is like a family. When the family is in trouble, everyone supports them. TSK, Tisk, it's really strange. In this world where humans eat humans and beasts eat humans, there is actually such a paradise." Hearing the young man's words, a woman who followed him said, "Yes, if it is really like what you said, then this place is really a paradise. Then husband, are we going to stay here?" The other woman said with an expression full of expectation. At this moment, the man was silent and fell into deep thought. However, this expression came and went quickly. In the end, he nodded with a smile and said, "Let's stay here. I feel that I can restrain my baleful aura to the extreme here. This is the place where I comprehend the Tao." "Great. After getting her husband's confirmation, the woman jumped up in joy and excitement like a happy child. When this scene fell into the young man's eyes, he was stunned and a touch of tenderness appeared. At this moment, if this scene fell into the eyes of Di Shutian, perhaps Di Shutian would have already flown into a rage and started nagging while pointing at the young man's nose. The young man was none other than Lin Rei, who had left Xianming Valley. As for the two girls beside him, they were Ying and Bing. After the three left Xianming Valley, they walked and stopped as if they were on a scenic tour, looking for the place they wanted to return to. In order to make it more suitable for him, Linley even took off his divine artifact and changed into an ordinary linen robe with a patch on it. The two women didn't have any complaints because in their opinion, as long as they could be with their husbands, it was the happiest thing. As for what they wore, they didn't care at all. Let's go. Putting a stop to Ice's madness, he reached out to hold the two girls' hands and slowly walked into the village. At this moment, the three of them were just like ordinary people. There were no fluctuations of cultivation in their bodies. Have you heard? Some time ago, I heard that Wang Daniu from the neighboring village was kicked. He almost committed suicide because of it. What? What happened? I remember that Wang Daniu is a very simple and honest person. How could this happen? Yes, I have seen Wang Daniu before. How could he? Just as Lin Rei walked to the center of the village, a piece of gossip entered Lin Rei's ears. Regarding this, Lin Rei was startled and the corner of his mouth fiercely twitched. The people who were gossiping in front of him weren't women, but a few men. Lin Rei could feel the iron blood of these men and thought that they might be the hunters of the village. However, this wasn't a reason for these men to sit together and gossip. Just as Linley was about to leave, the middle-aged man, who had been chatting happily, noticed Linley and his two wives from the corner of his eye. Who are you? His expression was vigilant. As a hunter of the village, the first thing he thought of was the safety of his village. How could he give up on interrogating these strangers who suddenly appeared? Perhaps because of the middle-aged man's words, seeing that the other villagers were also attracted, they turned their heads doubtfully. However, the moment they saw Lin Rei, their reaction was the same as the first person who discovered Lin Rei. Their expressions were full of vigilance, as if they were afraid that Lin Rei would do something unfriendly. Seeing the vigilance of these people at this moment, Lin Rei was startled. Then, he glanced at everyone and said in a gentle tone, "Xiao, I am really sorry for disturbing you. Please forgive me." Saying that, he cupped his fist and bowed to the crowd. Ying and Bing's eyes widened, as if they had seen something that they couldn't believe. Heavens, did I see wrong? My husband is apologizing to a criminal. Yes, it is indeed as you saw. Lin Rei didn't know what the two women were thinking. If he knew, he would be speechless. Getting up and looking at the crowd, Lin Rei continued, "My name is Lin Rei. The two beside me are my wives. We are tired of the bustling world, so we want to live in seclusion here. May I know who is in charge here?" Oh. Hearing Lin Rei say where he came from, everyone was startled. They looked at the middle-aged man in the lead, as if he was the backbone of the village. And the middle-aged man didn't disappoint. Looking at Lin Rei, the middle-aged man smiled and said, "So that's how it is. However, you are right about one thing. This is indeed a place to live in seclusion. However, no outsiders have ever come to our village, so, it's okay. You can ask them first. The three of us sincerely want to live in seclusion again. You can ask them first. If it doesn't work, we will leave on our own. How about it?" After all, Lin Rei's cultivation was now restrained, and his goal was to become an ordinary person. Therefore, if Huang Lian village couldn't accommodate them, then he could only leave with Ying and Bing. Okay. Please wait for a moment. After saying that, the middle-aged man turned and jogged towards the other side of the village. He wasn't very fast, but the middle-aged man's figure soon disappeared from everyone's eyes. I hope it works. His gaze swept around, and his expression was full of anticipation. He had an inexplicable feeling of wanting to stay here. Moreover, he had been gone for so long, and he didn't want to leave again. Just like that, the two groups of people fell into a stalemate. No one said anything, and they just stood there waiting for the middle-aged man to return. Time slowly passed, and in the blink of an eye, half an hour had passed. Finally, in Lin Rei's line of sight, the middle-aged man who had left returned. However, he wasn't alone at this moment. He had brought another person with him. However, that person was really old and walked very slowly. It was estimated that the old man could only take 1 step when the others took 5 steps. Soon, the middle-aged man brought the old man to Lin Rei. Looking at him, Lin Rei nodded and cupped his hands. This is the elder of our Huang Lian village. He is also the village chief of our Huang Lian village, Uncle Huang. The middle-aged man introduced. Oh. Uncle Huang. He cupped his hands towards the old man. You're the young man who wants to settle down in our Huang Lian village, right? The old man raised his head, raised his tightly knitted eyelids, and looked at Lin Rei as he asked. That's right, it's me. I am Lin Rei, and I want to settle down in this village. I wonder, is there anything particular about settling down in Huang Lian village, or are there any taboos? There isn't. The middle-aged man replied. However, the old man at the side said, Young man, I see that you sincerely want to settle down in this village. Since that's the case, then, as he spoke, his gaze swept around, and then it stopped on another middle-aged man. He said, Little Six, bring this guest to find an empty house. Have everyone help out, so that he can stay for the night. The Little Six that the old man spoke of was from the same generation as the uncles in Huang Lian village. However, before this middle-aged man, this seniority was clearly not enough. Hearing the old man's instructions, the middle-aged man called Little Six nodded repeatedly, and he didn't dare to be negligent in the slightest. Okay. I'll go right away. At the side, a smile appeared on Lin Rei's face when he heard that he could settle down. As for asking the villagers for help, Lin Rei thought about it and decided not to. After all, his clothes were in the storage ring, and it wouldn't be good if they were seen. Let's go. Little Six came before Lin Rei with a kind smile on his face, and the original vigilance on his face had disappeared. Lin Rei replied, and bowed to the old man again. Then, he pulled Ing and Bing, and followed Little Six out of the crowd. At the eastern end of the village, in front of a courtyard that wasn't very big, Lin Rei followed Little Six and stopped there. In response, Lin Rei looked at the small courtyard, and he knew that this would be his home in the future. Sure enough, as soon as this thought came to his mind, Little Six spoke and his voice entered Lin Rei's ears. Brother Lin Rei, this will be your home in the future. Although it isn't big, its layout is one of the best in the village. Besides, the Wu family is just next door. Their family has been practicing medicine for generations. If you have any headaches or fever, they can treat it as soon as you step out of the house. It's very convenient. Although Little Six words weren't pleasant to the ears, it did make sense. Without refuting, Rode nodded in agreement. Since that's the case, then. Little Six. Bro, I'll go in and tidy up first. As a 3,000 to 4,000 years old Lin Rei, he wasn't used to calling a middle-aged man in his 40s bro. After all, he was much older. As for Little Six, when he heard the words Little Six coming out of Lin Rei's mouth, his face suddenly turned red and he muttered in his heart, It's over, it's over, it's over. I didn't expect my reputation to be ruined by the name of Little Six. He didn't say this out loud and only thought about it in his heart. On the surface, he put on a smile and cupped his hands at Lin Rei. All right, since that's the case, I'll take my leave first. If you need help, just let me know. In our Huang Lian village, we may not be good at other things, but we are indeed very strong when it comes to unity. As the saying goes, when one side is in trouble, all sides will help. Okay, got it. In the end, Little Six chatted with Lin Rei for a while, then he strode out of Lin Rei's sight and disappeared from Lin Rei's sight. "Let's go." As he spoke, he reached out to open the door. Suddenly, a cloud of dust rose into the air. There were spider webs and insects everywhere. Seeing this, Lin Rei's originally relaxed brows knitted together. "Husband, let's do it." At the side, seeing their husband like this, Ying and Bing smiled. Then, Washbu stepped forward and spoke first. Don't say this and that. We're women. These chores are our duty. As for you." Ying looked at Lin Rei and pondered for a while, then said, "You see, we've just moved here and it's going to be dark soon. There will definitely be people coming at night. Your main task is to go hunting in the mountains. I've seen it just now. The villagers here rely on hunting to make a living." Hearing this, Lin Rei was stunned. Then, he thought about it and nodded in agreement. "Okay, since you've said so, then I'll go." Looking at the miscellaneous things inside, Lin Rei thought about it and decided to give up. He would rather go hunting than tidy up these things. "Go ahead. When you come back, it should be almost done." Ying pushed Lin Rei out of the door and closed the door without waiting for Lin Rei's response. Lin Rei didn't know whether to laugh or cry at Ying's action. Outside the door, looking at the closed door, he smiled bitterly and walked away. In the small courtyard, Ying and Bing looked at each other, then rolled up their sleeves and began to get busy. The arrival of Lin Rei and the other two spread in the village. Especially the appearance of Lin Rei's two companions, Ying and Bing, became the talk of the town. Linley didn't know about this. At this moment, Linley had already arrived at the back of the mountain. His hands were clasped behind his back as he leisurely walked along the mountain path. He wasn't holding anything in his hands. If the villagers knew that he was here to rob them, they would probably laugh on the spot. Whoosh! Just as Linley was beginning to feel that this sort of leisurely life was not easy to come by, suddenly, a black shadow flashed past at high speed, shattering this hard-won atmosphere. He opened his eyes and looked up, only to see a wild beast that looked like a chicken but had an unusual appearance not far away. Motherf **Ker, what is this? Looking at the thing in the distance, Lin Rei felt that he was seeing things. He had seen chickens before, but he had never seen such an ugly chicken. Its whole body was black, but its comb was red and its feet were yellow. It looked out of place, really hard to describe. Guguda. Motherf **Ker, is it really a chicken? With a look of disbelief on his face, he took a step forward and quickly appeared in front of the ugly chicken. Lin Rei didn't use his cultivation. It was just his physical strength that was strong. And this was when he suppressed his speed by 99%. If he went all out, he would be able to travel 100,000 miles in a single step. Lin Rei reached out and grabbed the neck of the ugly chicken. He lifted it up and looked at it carefully. In the end, he chose to give up because he still couldn't tell what breed it was. But, at least it was his first prey today. He would definitely eat it tonight. Chapter 990. After catching the first prey, no other wild beasts appeared. As he wanted to live a normal life, he did not use his divine sense to scout the area. As for the speed he had used to catch the ugly chicken, that was just his body's normal speed. Looking at the ugly chicken in his hands, Lin Rei could not believe it. Seeing that Tian still wanted more, he continued deeper into the village. However, in the end, Lin Rei was disappointed. He thought of many reasons, but the most logical one was that perhaps the surrounding wild beasts had all been killed by the villagers of Huanglian village. After all, they had lived here for generations and relied on hunting for a living. After that, Lin Rei did not continue. He understood that the villagers were hunting in a specific area, just that he did not know about it earlier. On the horizon, the original sunlight slowly disappeared, replaced by dark clouds. Looking at the time, it was almost night, and Lin Rei did not have the mood to continue hunting. Although it was just a single ugly chicken, it was enough. At most, he could just go back to the village and borrow some more, and return them when he hunted something good in the future. Saying that he would return, he did not linger, turning and leaving quickly along the original path. Within Huanglian village, in the small courtyard where Lin Rei was currently staying, the scene was completely different from when he had first arrived. The original old, dusty, and dilapidated courtyard had all disappeared in just a single afternoon. Some of it looked brand new, with all sorts of flowers and plants growing in the courtyard. Especially at the back of the courtyard, the two girls had even opened up a small plot of land for them, and it had even been renovated, allowing them to grow whatever they wanted at any time. Currently, the two girls stood in front of the plot of land in the backyard, looking at their work, their faces full of smiles. "Big sister, do you think our husband will like what we have done?" Hearing that, Ying looked at Bing curiously, saying, "Why would you ask that?" "Husband originally came here to rest, but now that we have created such a thing for him to work on, I'm afraid, don't worry." Without waiting for Bing to finish, Ying quickly interrupted, "My husband won't be unhappy. Not only will he not be unhappy, I believe husband will be very happy." "Really?" Hearing that, Bing hesitated. "Really, I'm sure." Looking at the affirmation on Ying's face, Ice didn't say anything. The smile that had disappeared from his face reappeared on his face. "All right, let's go. Tian's husband should be back soon. Let's go prepare dinner." She pulled Bing's hand and walked towards the front yard. "Look, someone is coming out." Where? That's right. You're just spouting nonsense." "Who's there?" Ying and Bing, who had just returned from the backyard, frowned and looked up. They saw many women and children gathered in front of the gate, which was originally empty. There was an endless stream of people of all ages. Their eyes darted left and right as if they were thieves. Seeing this group of people, the two women were stunned for a moment. Then, they quickly came back to their senses. They quickly ran to the door and opened it. With a smile on their faces, they said to everyone, "Everyone must be the villagers of Lotus Village. Please come in." Ying and Bing retreated to the sides and made a gesture of invitation to everyone. You two must be the people who came to settle in our Huanglian village today." "That's right. Look at how beautiful she is. Such a beautiful person has never appeared in our Huanglian village before." "That's right. How could such a beautiful person appear in our village?" "That's right. But you two are already married. Otherwise, this old lady would definitely make you stay." The discussion of the crowd made Ying and Bing stunned, especially the last words of the old woman, which made the two girls feel very awkward. They were worried that they couldn't interrupt. After all, they were now ordinary people, and their style of doing things couldn't be the same as before. They couldn't kill anyone who didn't like them, or who talked back to them, or who talked about their husbands. In the crowd, a middle-aged woman seemed to feel the awkwardness of Ying and Bing and quickly interrupted the discussion. "I say, what are you doing? What are we doing here? We're not here to talk about right and wrong. We're here to help. Look at all of you. Whenever you see a beautiful person, you act like this family's children. You really don't respect your elders." On the side, when Ying and Bing heard the words "don't respect their elders," the awkwardness on their faces intensified. In terms of age, they were probably older than everyone here combined. However, a good thing was that when the middle-aged woman said that, the chatter disappeared. For this, the two women were very grateful to the middle-aged woman in front of them. Looking at her, Ying bowed and said, "Sister, may I know who you are?" As someone who treated her well, Ying didn't think that she would be so restrained, just like now. "My surname is Liu. I'm the lady of the Wu family next to your house." Looking at the polite Ying, Liu knew that these two must be from the outside world and their family must be very powerful. It was obvious that in this chaotic world, ordinary people wouldn't go back to learn these manners. It was already difficult to fill their stomachs. Only the descendants of some prominent families would do such superficial things. After all, they had the capital and the time to do so. They didn't need to worry about 3 meals a day. However, what made Liuwu puzzled was why such a prominent family would choose to come to this remote place. Although she looked relaxed and kind, when she thought of these questions, she couldn't help but be vigilant and cautious. "So it's Sister Lu. Come in and sit." Looking at Liuwu, Ying opened her mouth and invited again. "However, you all know that we just moved here, so we don't have as many chairs and tea as I do. Please forgive us for being busy." It's okay." Looking at Ying and Bing, everyone was stunned. Everyone here was a little unnatural. After all, Ying and Bing were so well-mannered and polite. This made these uncouth people who lived in the mountains feel a little unnatural. However, this was normal. Under Ying and Bing's warm invitation, everyone walked into the small courtyard. There were about 15 or 16 people in the group. Plus, the courtyard wasn't very big, so everyone basically took up half of the courtyard. This is, when they came to the small courtyard, everyone was stunned on the spot. Their faces were full of astonishment. Originally, everyone thought that it would be difficult for the two of them to clean up this place that no one had lived in for a long time. It was impossible to be the host tonight. But, what about now? There was not a speck of dust in the entire courtyard, not a speck of dirt could be seen. In fact, every item was placed very neatly. Compared to this, everyone felt that their own home was more in line with the word busy and messy. What happened? Looking at the people in the courtyard, the awkward expression on their faces made Ying and Bing puzzled. They were fine just now, how did they become like this? That's right, everyone, at this moment, everyone seemed to be wearing earplugs to Ying and Bing's words. They directly ignored the two women's words. Their eyes scanned the surroundings, and the shock in their eyes took a long time to recover. This was all cleaned up by the two of you? Finally, after an unknown amount of time, Liuwu's voice broke the silence. Yes, what's the matter? Is there a problem? Liuwu's words made Ying even more puzzled. She muttered in her heart, isn't it just cleaning up the courtyard? What's the big deal? Of course, if these kinds of thoughts were heard by housewives like them, they would definitely have the urge to strangle the two of them to death. After all, although Huang Liansuan was separated by a distance, there were still comparisons between people, especially between women. Just like now, they felt that they were not as good at doing housework as these newcomers. In just one afternoon, only the two of them were able to do so well. If this happened to them, they would not be able to do it. With the two women's approval, everyone was a little ashamed. Some people did not even want to stay any longer and directly chose to leave. There are still some matters at home. I thought I could help a little, but since it's not necessary now, then I'll leave first. Me too. Since there's nothing else, I'll leave first. If there's anything, just let us know. We'll definitely help. One by one, they left one by one. In the end, the originally bustling courtyard became deserted. Only the two women and Liuwu were left. Looking at the back of everyone leaving, Liuwu smiled bitterly. The two women did not understand, but she was very clear about the thoughts in everyone's heart. She also had it. After all, she was also a woman. It was just that her thoughts were very slight and not as heavy as the others. Seeing that only she and the owner of the courtyard were left in the courtyard, Liuwu chuckled and said, "They're just like that. After all, there are a lot of things to do in the village. Tomorrow is the hunting day that happens once every 7 days. They have to go back and help their men pack up for tomorrow's hunt." "Oh. Tomorrow is the hunting day that happens once every 7 days?" Ying was still full of doubts, but after hearing Liuwu's words, her doubts disappeared and were replaced by something else. After all, a hunt was a hunt, and today was the hunting day. Seeing the expectation and desire in the two women's eyes, Liuwu smiled and understood that they did not know. Then she continued, "The hunting day is actually a hunting day for the men in the village. Don't look at the surrounding mountains. In fact, there is no food that can satisfy the daily needs of the people in the village. After all, there are 56 families in the village. Including you, there are 57 families. Everyone has to eat a lot of food every day. Even if they don't only eat meat every day, with such huge expenses, even if they have abundant resources, it is useless. So, the older generation suggested that the hunting day, on this day, all the adult men in the village must go hunting. On this day, the hunting day will last for 3 days. After all, it takes a day to get to the hunting location, and another day to get back. Hearing Liu Wu's words, Ying and Bing nodded their heads. I see. Oh no, didn't our husband go hunting? Suddenly, Bing thought of the reason why her husband went out. Then she thought of what Liu Wu said and could not help but exclaim. Yes. At this moment, Liu Wu also reacted. She did not seem to have seen the male owner of this house. Now that she heard the two women say this, she finally understood where the male owner went. It's fine. If we can't find any prey, our husband will come back. Are you worried that our husband will be in danger? As someone who had already become a saint, there was nothing in the deity realm that could threaten him. Even before he entered the saint realm, Lin Rei could do whatever he wanted in the saint realm. Now, how could a mere ravine put Lin Rei in danger? Thinking of their husband's strength, the two women were relieved. They then looked at Liu Wu and smiled. Let's go, Sister Lu. Let's talk inside. Oh, okay. Just like that, the three women went into the room and began to talk passionately. Lin Rei did not know about this. At this moment, he had already gone down the mountain and arrived at the entrance of the village. Looking at the prey in his hand, Lin Rei shook his head helplessly. I didn't expect that I, a Dao fruit saint, would only get an ugly chicken on my first hunt. If this was seen by Sakura, Xia Feng, or Dubhy Rabbit, I'm afraid it would become a topic of conversation before and after meals for a long time. Thinking of this, the image in his mind suddenly made Lin Rei quiver. He quickly abandoned this thought. Absolutely not. I can't let them know. Otherwise, how am I going to survive in the future? After making his decision, he strode into the village. It was currently evening. Perhaps because of the heat, Linley encountered quite a few people at the entrance to the village. Perhaps because everyone was very familiar with each other, without any hesitation, they all sat down and chatted with each other, laughing and chatting. Looking at them, Lin Rei felt that coming here was indeed the right thing to do. He could feel that ever since he came here, the murderous aura and baleful aura in his body had begun to fade. Although it was very small and almost imperceptible, Lin Rei still noticed it. With such a good start, Lin Rei was very happy. He believed that if he lived here for 200 or 300 years, the murderous aura and baleful aura in his body would be completely restrained. It would not affect his ascension to the holy world. Hey, isn't this Lin Rei? Just as Lin Rei was rushing home, a familiar voice came from behind. Stopping and turning around, he saw Xiaolu who led him today. Looking at him, Lin Rei greeted, Xiaolu, what's wrong? What's the matter? F***CK. Xiaolu, who was originally smiling, heard Lin Rei address him like this, and the smile on his face instantly disappeared. It was replaced by helplessness. However, this helplessness did not last long before Xiaolu threw it to the back of his mind. He waved his hand and said, the clan elder asked me to inform you that tomorrow is the time of the 7-day hunt. You just came today, so the clan elder also wants you to go and take a look. After all, if you want to eat, you need to work hard. Chapter 991. As expected. Hearing Xiao Liuzi's words, Lin Rei felt that it was indeed as he had expected. Lin Rei naturally would not refuse this matter. After all, he was no longer a normal person. Although he would not feel hungry even if he did not eat, if he did not go, he would seem out of place in the village. Thinking about this, a trace of determination appeared in his heart. He looked up and said, okay, I'll go tomorrow. Okay, I'll go see you tomorrow. As for the hunting tools, don't take them yet. Just treat it as learning. We'll talk about it next time. Okay. Lin Rei nodded. Okay, since that's the case, I'll be going first. I'm still waiting for dinner at home. Seeing that Lin Rei had agreed, he looked at the sky and cupped his hands to bid farewell. Then, he turned and left Lin Rei's sight. Ah. Hunting. Interesting. Seeing Xiao Liuzi disappear from his sight, a trace of interest appeared on his face. He was very much looking forward to hunting, especially after the incident in the illusory sky. He had entered his past memories, and there, he had experienced hunting again. Putting aside the fact that he was a cultivator, just his hunting experience in the water barrier village was not inferior to anyone in Huanglian village. Ah, he lightly laughed and shook his head. He turned and walked towards his home. Following his memory, he finally arrived at his home in a few minutes. At this moment, the lights in the house were on and Lin Rei heard voices. Other than his two wives, there was another woman that he did not recognize. Who could it be? He walked into the house with confusion. He threw Ugly Chicken on the ground and walked to the door. Bing, I'm back. After a reminder, he opened the door and saw 3 women. 2 of them were naturally his wives. As for the other one, he did not know. This is? Pointing at Liuwu, Lin Rei asked in confusion. Husband, this is our neighbor, Liuwu from the Wu family. Didn't she come to see if we were done and help us? No, I didn't help at all. When I arrived, my 2 sisters had already cleaned up the courtyard. I just came to chat with them. Saying this, she looked up at the young man in front of her. Wuxia felt an inexplicable pressure coming from the young man's body. It was as if this pressure came from a king that was born from birth. This was because Lin Rei had restrained his aura to the extreme. Otherwise, she would not have existed after sensing Lin Rei's full aura. Hearing Wuxia's words and the expression on his wife's face, the confusion on his face disappeared and was replaced by a smile that was like the spring wind and rain. Oh, so it's Lu Wuxia. Since you're here, why don't you eat at home? I just caught a pheasant on the mountain. Let's make a stew and have a taste. Without waiting for Lu Wuxia's response, Lin Li turned and left. Looking down at the ugly dead chicken in the courtyard, a smile appeared on his face. Such an ugly chicken, I wonder if it would taste good after being stewed? Thinking about this, Lin Rei started to get busy. He plucked the chicken, washed it, cut it, and stewed it. The whole process was smooth and beautiful. Although there were not many things, at least there were some things in the storage ring that could be made. With those, it was enough to make a meal. 20 minutes later, once the stewed chicken was ready, the aroma of the stewed chicken filled the entire courtyard. Poochie. Once the lid was opened, steam rose into the air and the aroma spread uncontrollably in all directions. Looking at his work, Lin Rei was very satisfied. He took the bowls and chopsticks according to the number of people and brought the chicken soup into the house. What smells so good? Shadow and Wuxia, who were chatting, were suddenly attracted by an aroma. The 3 of them looked towards the door and saw Lin Li's figure appear at the door, holding something that looked like a clay pot in his hand. When Lin Li walked into the room, he felt the 3 pairs of burning eyes on him. He raised his head and looked at them. Seeing the expressions of Ying and the others, Lin Li chuckled and said, "Come, try this ugly chicken I caught in the back mountain. It doesn't taste good." He put the thing on the table and opened the lid. Suddenly, the aroma filled the entire room. Smelling the aroma, Liuwu couldn't help but want to rush up and taste the beauty of the chicken soup. But because this was not her home and she wasn't familiar with this house, Liuwu held back. However, her eyes didn't leave Lin Rei after he opened the lid. "Here, try it. Please don't dislike it. After all, we just got home and don't have anything." Ying handed a bowl of chicken soup to Liuwu and said apologetically, "That's right, big sister Lu. Let's wait for a couple of days. When the situation at home gets better, we'll invite you over for some good food." At that time, we'll invite Big Brother Wu and the kids at home. Okay. Okay. As for Shadow's words, it didn't matter whether Wuxia heard them or not. At this moment, her eyes and attention were completely focused on the bowl of chicken soup that Linley had given her. Here, this is yours. Hurry up and eat. Liu Wu didn't have the chance. She handed 2 bowls of chicken soup to Ying and then started to eat. 1 chicken wasn't a lot to begin with, so the 4 of them each had a bowl, no more and no less. For Lin Ray, a meal was a meal. He didn't have to compromise. He looked at the chicken soup in front of him and started to eat. The meal was quickly finished. During the meal, Liu Wu kept praising Lin Ray's cooking. Her praises made Lin Ray a little embarrassed. Ying and Bing saw this scene and laughed until their stomachs hurt. They didn't think that their husband was afraid of nothing but Liu Wu's praises. As for Liu Wu's praises, Lin Ray's wife was very happy. Which woman didn't like to hear others praising their husband? In the blink of an eye, it was late at night. Liu Wu didn't stay any longer. She got up and bowed. Sisters, it's getting late. I should leave. If you have time, come to my house and play. Okay, if that's the case, sister, will you keep sister? The 3 of them greeted each other and finally sent Liu Wu out of the house. When the 2 returned to the house, they found out that Lin Ray had already returned. He was lying on the bed and snoring. Seeing this, the 2 girls looked at each other and smiled. They didn't say anything. They cleaned up the dishes and went to Lin Ray's side. They laid in Lin Ray's arms and fell asleep. The night passed quickly. The sky was already bright. A red sun slowly rose from the east. The purple air from the east made people feel comfortable. Especially early in the morning, the air was especially fresh. Most of the people in Huanglian village were already out and about. Especially today was the hunting day that happened once every 7 days. This was a big event in Huanglian village. Everyone was nervous. In the Wu family, Liu Wu saw that it was already bright outside, but there was no movement from Lin Ray's house. This made her anxious. What's going on? Didn't they say that today was the hunting day? Why is there still no movement from the Lin family? She looked at the Lin family's front door. The courtyard door was closed. There was no movement at all. Mom, it's okay. Just help the Lin family say something. After all, it's their first time here. It's normal that they don't know. Just as Liu Wu was anxious, a 14 or 15-year-old boy came from afar. Yes, don't worry. A middle-aged man came from afar. He looked very similar to the boy. Looking at the middle-aged man, Liu Wu nodded. Since you said so, what else can I say? As he spoke, he turned around and said to the 14 or 15-year-old boy beside him, Xiao Yu, this is the 2nd time you're going hunting with the hunters. The first time, you were protected, but the 2nd time, it's not the same. You must be careful. Even if you can't hunt, you must come back safely. As for the prey, your father is a doctor. The only doctor in the entire Huanglian village. If there is a doctor, then there will be prey. So, don't force yourself, okay? Yes, yes, yes. You are our Wu family's only child. If something happens to you, how am I supposed to live? Lin Ray didn't know about this. At this moment, Lin Ray had just woken up from his sleep. It's morning. Looking at the bright sunlight shining down on the room, Linley thought to himself. He could feel that there was something on his arms. He glanced over and saw that Shadow and Ice each had 1 arm. This scene made Linley smile bitterly. These 2 girls, after smiling bitterly, he remembered that today was the day of the hunt. He gently woke up Ying and Bing. 2 lazy kittens, hurry up and get up. Today is the day of the hunt. Don't you want to eat? No reaction. Seeing that the 2 girls didn't respond, a naughty smile appeared. His hands began to misbehave. This time, it finally worked. In her sleep, she felt something on her body. When she woke up, she really felt something strange from her body. She blushed. "Husband, what are you doing? It's not good to do this in broad daylight." "Yes, husband. If you want to do something, you have to wait until night time. Aren't you embarrassed?" Lin Rei, hearing the girl's words, Lin Rei's hands suddenly stopped. He looked at the two girls and joked, "Today is the day of the hunt. No matter how I called you, you wouldn't listen. In the end, I can only use this method." Hearing this, the two girls suddenly blushed. Their faces were full of embarrassment. At the same time, they felt a little disappointed. "All right, hurry up and get up. If we can't catch up with the hunting team, then we can only eat dirt for a period of time." After saying that, he pulled out his numb arms, tidied up his clothes and pushed the door open. "Aya, this is so embarrassing." After Lin Rei left, the two girls were no longer as calm as before. They covered their heads with the quilt as if they didn't have the face to see anyone. Hee, stinky girls. Feeling the two girls in the room, Lin Rei came to the door and smiled. He then pushed the door open and walked towards the east side of the village. In the entire Huanglian village, only the east side of the village could enter the mountain. Lin Rei knew about this. Along the way, Lin Rei saw a lot of people. Some were carrying swords, some were carrying buses, some were carrying spears. There were all kinds of people. However, everyone who was going out to hunt had their family members by their side. Everyone who was sending their family members out to hunt was nervous, concerned, and worried. Moreover, the age of the people hunting was also a problem. This was because he saw a 14 or 15-year-old child among the people hunting. As expected, not only is the world of cultivators cruel, the world of mortals is also cruel. At such a young age, they have to fight alone. AI, the great Tao is merciless, the great Tao is merciless. He sighed in his heart and then ignored the surroundings. Although this was cruel, the great Tao was like this. What could he do? There were too many such things in the world. He could help once, but 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times? He couldn't help every time. If that was the case, he wouldn't be able to do anything. He would have to focus on saving lives in the divine realm. Following the flow of people, Lin Rei came to the east side of the village. There was a group of 70 to 80 people gathered here. There were old, young, and middle-aged people. Every hunter's face was filled with excitement and fanaticism. Lin Rei, why are you here? I was going to look for you. Just as Lin Rei arrived, a soft voice came from behind him. Lin Rei was familiar with this voice. He turned his head and looked at Xiaoliuzi. A smile appeared on his face. Nothing, I woke up early. I wanted to come and take a look. Anyway, I have to bring it with me at home. That's true. Xiaoliuzi didn't know what to say to Lin Rei's words. Thus, he found some unimportant topics to talk about. In the blink of an eye, it was already past 9 o'clock in the evening. An old man walked over from afar and came to the stage. He looked at the hunters who were already prepared. Although he was already old, when he saw the well-armed hunters below, he felt as if he was looking at himself in the past. The unerasable hot blood in his body surged to his heart. My Huanglian village's Erlang, the hunt that occurs once every 7 days is about to begin again. However, this time, it will be different from the past. This time, the hunt will last for a month. Previously, the village's prophets said that there will be 2 months of heavy rain. Therefore, everyone must prepare sufficient things in case of any accidents. Hua. The old man's words were like a bomb. They were thrown into the crowd and instantly exploded. 2 to 3 months of heavy rain? How is that possible? This has never happened before. That's right. 2 to 3 months of heavy rain. If it really comes, won't our homes be destroyed? What should I do? I just built my house. If the heavy rain comes, then my house. A sense of panic swept through the hearts of those who were going out to hunt. They were worried that their homes would be destroyed by this heavy rain. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was standing in the crowd, heard this and immediately made a prediction in his heart. As a sage, Lin Rei could easily predict the weather. He could even predict the immortal emperor realm, let alone someone with his cultivation level. Chapter 992. There really is. His eyes flashed as he opened them. The result of his divination was just as the elder of Huanglian village had said. In the future, there would be 2 months of heavy rain. However, what worried Linley was that in the next 2 or 3 months, not only would there be torrential rain, but it would also be mixed rain that would affect mortals. This kind of rain was nothing to cultivators, but to mortals without any cultivation, it would be a natural disaster. Sigh, looks like I have to make a move this time. After learning of the calamity that this rain would bring, Linley had already made up his mind. This time, he was going to act. Lin Rei did not have any feelings for this place, but he had already seen most of it. If something happened here, it meant that he would have to leave and look for it again. Lin Rei did not want this kind of thing to happen, and he did not want it to happen to him. As for the mixed rain, it was something that he could destroy with a wave of his hand. After making his decision, a smile appeared on his face. He raised his hand and with a speed that mortals could not see, a huge amount of spiritual energy surged out and rushed into the sky. Boom! With a muffled sound, a faintly discernible light screen that only cultivators could see appeared above Huanglian village. As for the muffled sound, unless one was a cultivator, no one would be able to hear it. Looking at the light screen above his head, a relieved expression appeared. He believed that with the protection of this barrier, no matter how strong the natural disaster was, it would not be able to descend on Huanglian village. After doing all this, Lin Rei calmed down once again. The cultivation in his body instantly receded like a tide, and the entire process was completed in an instant. The people present did not notice the entire process, and they did not notice the difference in Huanglian village. On the other side, when the elder on the stage saw the commotion in the crowd, his expression became cold and majestic. Are you all done? The reason why I told you this is so that you can store food for 2 to 3 months to avoid the coming storm. Look at what you are doing right now. One by one. After hearing the clan elder's rebuke, the crowd lowered their heads, their necks pulled back, and their expressions changed. Silence filled the area. Seeing that everyone was silent, the elder's expression softened and he continued, "This is a big matter for our village, so we have to get through it together." As he spoke, he scanned the crowd with his gaze. Finally, his gaze fell upon Linley, who was in the middle of the crowd. He fixed his eyes on Lin Rei, and a smile appeared on his face as he said, "That must be Lin Rei, the Lin family that just settled down in our village today." When the clan elder said this, everyone turned their heads and followed the clan elder's gaze to Lin Rei. Everyone's eyes were filled with curiosity. What kind of person was he? Why did he settle down in Huanglian village? Receiving everyone's gazes, Lin Rei was stunned for a moment. His expression became slightly serious, and his eyes met the clan elder on the stage. He cupped his hands in a manner that was neither servile nor overbearing, and said, "That's right, I am Lin Rei, and I just settled in Huanglian village." Yes. Seeing Lin Rei's attitude, the clan elder nodded. "Since you've settled in Huanglian village, it means that you've become a member of Huanglian village. I'll let Xiao Yozi tell you some things. As for the hunt, I'll go." Before the clan elder could finish speaking, Lin Fan quickly interrupted, "I'll go with the hunting team this time. After all, I've settled in Huanglian village, and there are some things that I need to do personally." Lin Rei's words stunned everyone. Their original curiosity disappeared and was replaced with admiration and acknowledgement. "Yes, good. I originally wanted to let Xiao Yozi and the others help you. After all, it's your first time in Huanglian village, so, however, since you've said so, I'll respect your decision." As he spoke, His gaze landed on Xiao Liuzi, who was beside Lin Rei. Xiao Liuzi, I'll leave Lin Rei's safety to you. After all, it's his first time. Remember, you must bring Lin Rei back safely. I know. Xiao Liuzi obviously didn't expect the clan elder's order, but he couldn't say anything about it. In the end, he could only choose to agree. Yes, I understand. Sigh. Listening to the conversation between Xiao Liuzi and the clan elder, Lin Rei shook his head and sighed without saying anything. However, Lin Rei felt an inexplicable warmth in his heart. After all, if it were someone else, they wouldn't care so much. If the cultivation world could be like Huanglian village, how beautiful would the world be? Lin Rei didn't dare to imagine this, but he knew that it was impossible. Even if the sky was broken and the Tao collapsed, this kind of thing wouldn't happen. After all, the law of the cultivation world had always been like this since ancient times. The weak were prey to the strong, the survival of the fittest, and the strong were respected. So, time passed little by little. The clan elder arranged for Lin Rei to wait and said some unimportant things. Okay, that's all I've said. I hope everyone can have a perfect hunt and return safely. Yes, we'll definitely remember. In the next moment, the hunting team began to move out. Those who couldn't wait for a long time had already walked out of the village. Everyone knew that there would be heavy rain in the next 2 months. It would be very difficult to go out. Moreover, there were children and elders at home who had high requirements for food. So, they couldn't wait any longer. Husband, in the crowd, Lin Rei, who was walking out with the crowd, suddenly heard his wife's voice. He immediately turned his head to look. He saw that Ying and Bing were not far away, looking at them with nervous expressions. He looked at them with a relieved expression and transmitted his voice, I won't be here for a period of time. You two look after the house. As for the rain, I've already set up a barrier. If you think it's too troublesome, just make it disappear. Remember, Huanglian village is our home now. Don't let anything happen to it. Husband, don't worry. We'll definitely guard this place well. Hearing Lin Rei's instructions, the two women nodded heavily in response. That's good. I'm leaving. Wait for your husband to bring back prey for you too. After saying that, he waved his hand as a farewell. He turned around and left the village with the crowd without looking back, embarking on the hunting road. On the mountain road, a group of people walked majestically. When they were tired, they would stop to drink water and eat some dry food to replenish their strength. Then, they would continue on their journey. During this period of time, Lin Rei also learned about the destination of this trip from Little Liuzi. Yinshi Mountain Range. Although it was called a mountain range, it was not a mountain range in the eyes of cultivators. Although there were demonic beasts in this mountain range, the quality of the demonic beasts was not good. Generally, mortals could not deal with them. Of course, there would also be some powerful demonic beasts when they were leaving. In the face of such things, the solution for mortals was to escape. Only by escaping could they have a slim chance of survival. People would die when they left, but this kind of thing generally did not happen. But if it happened, it would be a world-destroying trouble. To Linley, that sort of world-destroying trouble they were talking about was nothing more than a drizzle. Perhaps he would be able to resolve it with a puff of his breath. Lin Rei understood this, but he was not moved by it. He did not think about it now. What he wanted to do was to go home and report to his wife, who was waiting for him at home. The group walked for a day and finally arrived at the entrance of Yinshi Mountain Range. Yinshi Mountain Range was connected by mountains. Its entrance was like the mouth of a lion, which made people's hair stand on end. Lin Rei and the group came to the entrance of Yinshi Mountain Range and stopped. At this time, a person in charge came out. We have arrived at Yinshi Mountain Range. Let's start to split up. After that, we will enter Yinshi Mountain Range to hunt. However, this time, the hunting time may be longer. After all, we will not be able to come here for the next 2 or 3 months. So, this time, the hunting time will be changed from 1 day to 7 days. After 7 days, everyone will gather here. Understood, let's start to split up. After the order was given, the group did not say anything else and started to search. Let's go together. It will be safer this way. Old Chai, let's go. Just like last time, let's go together. At this moment, everyone was in high spirits. However, they ignored Lin Rei's existence. However, there was one person who did not leave. Even when others called for him, he did not leave Lin Rei. Xiao Liuzi. That's right, it was Xiao Liuzi. At this moment, Xiao Liuzi was waiting beside Lin Rei. Seeing that everyone was assigned to their own group, Xiao Liuzi looked envious and troubled. Lin Rei saw the changes in Xiao Liuzi's expression. Lin Rei pursed his lips and asked, "Why don't you go?" "Me?" Xiao Liuzi turned to look at Lin Rei. After hesitating for a moment, he replied, "I promised the elders that I would follow you. As a person, I must keep my word. Although I am not educated and am a boor, my father told me this when he was alive. Keep your word." Hearing this, Lin Rei looked at Xiao Liuzi with a different expression. "Your father was good to you. What he taught you will benefit you for the rest of your life." Saying this, Lin Rei looked up and saw that everyone had already split up into groups. He turned to Xiao Liuzi and said, "Let's go." They have already split up into groups. Staying here will only be a waste of time. Ah. Just the two of us? Xiao Liuzi was a little surprised. He never thought that Lin Rei would be so decisive and ruthless. Only the two of them would enter Yinshi mountain range. Even an experienced hunter would not dare to let two people enter Yinshi mountain range. "Let's go. Come back early." Without replying to Xiao Liuzi, he turned around and ignored the others. He walked towards the entrance of Yinshi mountain range alone. Wait for me. Xiao Liuzi wanted to say something, but he saw that Lin Rei had already left alone. This time, Xiao Liuzi did not know what to say and immediately left. He was afraid that Lin Rei would be ignorant and accidentally enter the territory of some powerful monsters after entering Yinshi mountain range. Although the Cloud Creek mountain range usually didn't have them, no one dared to guarantee that there would be all of them. "Brother Zhong, are we just going to let them go?" "Yes, Brother Zhong. Before we came out, the elders had specially instructed us to ensure Lin Rei's safety. Now that the two of them have left, what if something happens? Then, yes, Brother Zhong. Why don't we go and take a look?" If something happens, looking at the worried expressions on everyone's faces, the leader named Brother Zhong waved his hand and told them not to worry. "Don't worry. With Xiao Liuzi following them, they should be fine. Besides, Xiao Liuzi has been here many times. He knows his limits." As soon as this was said, the originally worried crowd shut their mouths. This was because for someone they were not familiar with, they still did not want to offend this person in charge. "Alright, since they've left, let's go as well. Time is limited. Everyone should prioritize their own safety when hunting." After saying that, everyone nodded and followed him into the Yinshi mountain range. Gugugu, as they advanced, the two men walked in the forest. Strange sounds of birds could be heard. Occasionally, there would be roars of beasts. However, the two men didn't seem to care about this at all. They didn't seem to be afraid at all. One of the men even looked excited. "Lin Rei, look. This is the territory of the weaker demonic beasts. I can still guarantee your safety here." As he spoke, he raised his hand and pointed to the depths ahead. Up ahead is the place where the demonic beasts are strong. If I go there, hey, where are you going? At this time, Lin Rei said and strode toward the direction that Xiao Liuzi pointed. He didn't seem to care about the danger that Xiao Liuzi mentioned. As for Xiao Liuzi, who was explaining the dangers, when he saw Lin Rei walking toward the direction that he pointed, he became anxious. Just like what he said, if he entered that area, he was afraid that he didn't have the ability to protect Lin Rei. However, Lin Rei's speed was a little too fast. Seeing that Lin Rei was about to disappear from his sight, Xiao Liuzi didn't stop and quickly chased after him. Ah, it's dangerous. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was walking in front, looked into the depths of the dense forest and a strange feeling emerged. I'm afraid this is for the demonic beasts here. Ow-woo, ow-woo, a series of beast roars came from the front. Xiao Liuzi, who was behind Lin Rei, was stunned. He anxiously stretched out his hand and tried to grab Lin Rei to stop him from moving forward. However, as soon as his hand touched Lin Rei, he found that there was nothing in his hand. Lin Rei had naturally appeared 2 meters away from him. Don't go any further, it's dangerous ahead. Lin Rei acted as if he hadn't heard the voice behind him and continued walking. Xiao Liuzi was completely speechless. Ow-woo. Bang. A muffled explosion sounded out as a black blur streaked past. Dust flew into the air, rocks exploded, and trees in the surroundings collapsed. Seeing this, Xiao Liuzi was startled, and his heart thumped as a bad feeling welled up in his heart. Ow-woo. A beast's roar came from the front, and Xiao Liuzi's face instantly paled. He knew that something that he didn't want to encounter had come. Retreat. He didn't stop. After being stunned for a moment, he immediately came back to his senses. Roaring loudly at Linley, he quickly appeared in front of Linley, his arms raised, a look of vigilance on his face as he stared at this primordial beast before him. Hurry up and leave this place. Don't look back. Chapter 993. Are you sure? Lin Rei's heart trembled when he saw Xiao Lu standing in front of him to protect him. It had been a long time since something like this happened. It could be said that the people in this world were all selfish, especially in the face of death. However, Xiao Liu's actions had subverted Lin Rei's thoughts. In fact, there were still a few people in this world who had retained their original intentions. Run! Without looking at Lin Rei behind him, Xiao Lu roared at him. Then, he turned into a ray of light and rushed out. He raised the broadsword in his hand and released all of his strength. At this moment, Xiao Lu understood that if he didn't use all of his strength, not only would he die, even Lin Rei would have to accompany him. As a person who believed in promises since young, he had to complete the task given to him. Because, in his opinion, this was not only a task, but also his promise and responsibility. Beast, don't you dare! Xiao Lu arrived in front of the demonic beast in a flash. He raised the broadsword in his hand and chopped at the beast's head. Boom! The sound of weapons colliding was heard. However, the broadsword that chopped at the demonic beast's body did not appear as Xiao Lu had imagined. Blood splattering everywhere, flesh lacerating, none of these appeared. Not even a shallow cut was left behind. Thump! Xiao Lu knew that he was in trouble this time. He hoped that if he encountered a powerful demonic beast, his broadsword would be able to cut the beast's skin. But now, not to mention cutting the beast's skin, not even a mark was left behind. Rather than saying that Xiao Lu was killing the demonic beast, it was better to say that he was scratching an itch for the demonic beast. Roar! While Xiao Lu was in a daze, a roar was released from the demonic beast's mouth. A fishy smell came out from the demonic beast's mouth and entered Xiao Liu's nose. Oh no, retreat quickly. Xiao Liu's first thought was to retreat. He understood that the difference between him and the demonic beast was like heaven and earth. There was no comparison at all. However, the moment Xiao Lu turned around, he was stunned. At this moment, Lin Rei was still standing in the same place. He did not move a single step. Seeing this scene, Xiao Liu's eyes suddenly surged with anger. Yaya, didn't I ask you to leave? Why are you still here? Seeing Xiao Liuzi so angry, Lin Rei didn't get angry. Instead, he wanted to explain. Alright, you don't have to say any more. Seeing Lin Rei like this, Xiao Lu hardened his heart and turned around to face the demonic beast that he couldn't deal with. As he turned around, Little Six's voice entered Lin Rei's ears. Hurry up and leave. This time, it's for real. If you leave, my chances will be higher. You'll only be a burden to me if you stay here. Hurry up. Go back the way you came. It's safer that way. Do you hear me? After saying that, Xiaolu faced the demonic beast again, but this time, Xiaolu did not rejoice like before. Instead, there was only worry, fear, and deep cowardice. He held the broadsword in his hand, but his entire hand was trembling. His body was trembling uncontrollably. He was afraid that he wouldn't be able to return. He was afraid that he would never see his wife and children again. He was afraid that what would happen to his wife and children after he died. Aoo, for Xiaoyu's second provocation, the demonic beast's self-esteem really couldn't bear it. For the human in front of him, the demonic beast had already sentenced him to death. Aoo, the huge figure quickly rushed forward and opened its mouth to swallow Xiaolu. The demonic beast's appearance was repulsive. Just looking at the demonic beast's face would scare people half to death. Die for me, die for me. Although he was afraid, if he didn't give it a try, he would never know whether a miracle would happen in the next moment. Unfortunately, even if Xiaolu gave it his all, the final result would still be the same. He would be sent flying or even killed by the demonic beast. Bang! A muffled sound was heard. Xiaolu, who was originally rushing forward, came back even faster. However, this time, he was sent flying back by the demonic beast. Bang bang, he flew back 100 meters, and the saber in his hand had long since fallen to the ground. His body was also sent flying 100 meters away, and he did not stop even after 100 meters. He only came to a complete stop in the end when the momentum disappeared. Pfff. A mouthful of old blood spurted out. His face instantly turned pale. He covered his chest with both hands. His internal organs were moved by the demonic beast's huge force. It was very uncomfortable. It was something he would never forget for the rest of his life. It's over. It's all over. Clutching his chest, Xiaolu raised his head and looked at the demonic beast that was walking towards him. His eyes were filled with despair. He knew that this time, he was powerless to reverse the situation. Lying on the ground powerlessly, he endured the pain in his internal organs and closed his eyes. A bitter smile appeared on his face. In his mind, all the memories he had with his wife and son flashed through his mind like a movie. Aoo, the demonic beast that Xiaolu had been waiting for arrived in front of him. It opened its mouth that was big enough to swallow Xiaolu in one gulp and lowered its head. Sigh, my life is over. Xiaolu sensed the smell coming towards him. He didn't know if it was because of fear or pain. Death was slowly approaching. Xiaolu had already prepared himself for death. Time passed by slowly. Xiaolu, who was waiting for death, didn't feel any pain coming from his body. Then, he opened his eyes subconsciously. The demonic beast was still there. However, the difference was that the demonic beast was no longer as arrogant as before. Its eyes were filled with deep fear. When Xiaolu saw this scene, his expression turned cold. A trace of doubt welled up in his heart. What's going on? The deep doubt made Xiaolu forget the pain in his body. He didn't understand why the demonic beast didn't eat him. Instead, it seemed to be afraid. He is my friend. Are you sure you want to touch him? At this moment, just as Xiaolu was feeling puzzled, a familiar voice sounded. This voice is. The familiar feeling in his heart made Xiaolu want to turn his head to investigate. However, when he moved his head, his internal organs were in so much pain that he grimaced in pain. He couldn't move. Aoo, as for the demonic beast, the moment it heard this sentence, it took a step back in fear. Its body was clearly trembling. Xiaolu was a sensible person. When he saw this scene, he understood that the huge demonic beast in front of him was not afraid of him, but the voice behind him. Xiaolu was sure that the demonic beast was afraid of the voice behind him. It was afraid, just like him. When he saw something stronger than him, Xiaolu would have the same situation. Alas, little guy, you'd better leave. Seeing that your cultivation is not easy, you should leave quickly. The familiar voice sounded again. This time, Xiaolu heard it clearly. This voice was Lin Rei's. Lin Rei didn't run away. Aoo, the next moment, a miracle appeared. The demonic beast, who was staring at Xiaolu, turned around and left the moment it heard Lin Rei's voice. It walked into the depths of the dense forest mountain range without any reluctance. Its speed was very fast. In the blink of an eye, its huge body disappeared in front of Lin Rei and Xiaolu. Xiaolu was so shocked that he didn't speak. Are you all right? At this moment, Lin Rei's figure finally appeared in Xiaolu's sight. However, at this moment, Xiaolu looked at Lin Rei with a completely different expression than before. There was more respect, fear, and deep emotion in his expression. He really couldn't understand why Lin Rei was so strong. Facing such a powerful demonic beast, he only said a few words and it was scared away. What kind of strength was this? Why aren't you talking? Seeing Xiaolu's stunned expression, Lin Rei said. I didn't, hiss, just as he was about to say that he was fine, pain surged in his heart. His internal organs began to convulse. You're still saying that you're fine. With that, Lin Rei came to Xiaolu's side, squatted down, and put his hand on Xiaolu's chest. Suddenly, a warm current flowed from Lin Rei's palm into Xiaolu's body and began to investigate. It's quite serious. I didn't expect that little guy to be so ruthless. If I knew, I would have kept him as your compensation. Stretching out his hand, he sucked at the tree beside him. A green light slowly separated from the tree. The leaves of the tree that was separated from the green light began to turn yellow. Slowly, the entire tree began to emit a deathly aura. In the end, the tree completely lost its original vitality. Lin Rei's hand was also holding a ball of green light that was filled with vitality. Looking at the green light in his hand, Lin Rei nodded with satisfaction. It should be able to heal your injuries in the end. With that, without waiting for Xiaolu's response, the hand with the green light directly pressed on Xiaolu's chest. The moment Lin Rei's hand touched him, Xiaolu felt the pain in his body slowly diminish. With this kind of shock, time passed bit by bit. In the end, more than 10 minutes had passed. Xiaoluzi, who was originally grimacing in pain, was now sitting up straight. Except for his tattered clothes, he was basically uninjured. It doesn't hurt anymore. It really doesn't hurt anymore. Feeling that the injuries in his body had healed, he felt that his strength had increased a lot. His body was also more flexible and relaxed than before. Your injuries have healed. Looking at the excited expression on Xiaolu's face, Lin Rei withdrew his hand. A smile appeared on his face, and he said, "Now let's continue. After all, the mission this time is to hunt and store food. Moreover, I just settled in Huanglian village. There is nothing at home. If I can finish all the things here in one go, that would be great." This was Lin Rei's truest thought. Right now, there was nothing at home. There were no vegetables, no meat. If it wasn't for the fact that they didn't need to eat these things, they would have starved to death. No problem. My brother-in-law will remember your life-saving grace. There is anything you want in this Yunshi mountain range. I believe that after 7 days, when we leave, I will definitely find all the things you need. Trust me. Good. The two looked at each other, and then began to wantonly plunder the Yunshi mountain range. As for Xiaolu, because of what happened just now, he didn't dare to stay with him. Even though he knew that Lin Rei might be very strong, in the end, he couldn't win against Xiaolu. In the end, the two left the place where the demonic beasts were strong. After the two came to the periphery, Xiaolu basically dealt with all the demonic beasts they encountered. On the way, Lin Rei wanted to help several times, but he was stopped by Xiaolu in the end. The reason was that Lin Rei saved him. Now, he could still do such a small thing. For this reason, Lin Rei was really helpless. But for Xiaoyou's insistence, Lin Rei finally compromised. 5 days passed in 7 days. In these 5 days, Xiaolu killed a total of 2 demonic beasts, like 6 wild beasts, and countless wild vegetables. There were a few times when they met the villagers of Huanglian village, but they didn't talk and just hurried away. Lin Rei didn't care too much about this, but a trace of disappointment flashed across Xiaoyou's face. In this regard, Lin Rei shook his head helplessly. There was no other way. Since Xiaolu chose him, he had to accept this. As for Xiaolu who chose him, Lin Rei couldn't let him suffer, especially after what happened before. Lin Rei regarded Xiaolu as his friend. Looking at the full things in his hands, Xiaolu was distressed. It's only been 5 days, and I can't take it anymore. I can't go out hunting for the next 2 or 3 months, and these things are not enough. Yes, indeed, Lin Rei agreed with Xiaoyou's distress. Looking at the things in his hands, Lin Rei wanted to put them in his storage ring, but once he did so, his peaceful life would be disturbed. After thinking for a while, he finally came up with an idea. He looked up at Xiaolu and said, "Keep an eye here. I'll be back soon. Maybe we can go home earlier." Then, without waiting for Xiaoyou's response, he turned around and rushed into the depths of the forest. In a flash, he disappeared from Xiaoyou's sight. Seeing Lin Rei's action, Xiaolu wanted to stop Lin Rei on the spot, but what about his prey? He believed that if he left, his prey would be gone by the time he came back. They would either be eaten by wild beasts or taken away by people from his village. He looked up at the place where Lin Rei left, and deep worry appeared on his face. "I hope he's okay." As he spoke, he recalled what he had encountered when he first entered the Yinshi mountain range. His worried heart relaxed a little. At this moment, Lin Rei sped up a little after separating from Xiaolu, and returned to the depths of the forest at a speed of 100 meters per step. A woo, beast roars came from the depths of the forest. Hearing these sounds, a smile appeared on his face. "I need to find a big one. It's best if it can eat for 1 or 2 months." Lin Li's goal was very clear. Stepping forward, he swept the surrounding area with his gaze, beginning to investigate this forest. At this moment, the demonic beasts in the forest didn't know that they had been targeted by an extremely powerful existence. There was no other reason than that they wanted to eat meat. Chapter 994. Aowu. In front of a cave, a mountain-like demonic beast was originally lying on the ground and taking a nap. As a demonic beast in the forest, it was very comfortable to lie on the ground and bask in the sun. However, just as the demonic beast was enjoying this kind of time, its body suddenly changed, and its hair stood on end. It suddenly raised its head in shock, and its expression was full of horror. I didn't expect a little demonic beast to be so vigilant. I didn't expect the Emperor to be able to detect it even though he had suppressed his cultivation to this extent. In the dark, looking at the demonic beast's reaction, Lin Rei guessed the demonic beast's thoughts. However, Lin Rei was a little curious about this point. After all, with his current cultivation, to be able to accurately detect his location, one's cultivation must be very strong. At the very least, it must be much stronger than Lin Rei's cultivation to be able to do it. However, this low-level demonic beast in front of him was able to do it. This aroused Lin Rei's interest. Taking a step forward, he no longer hid and walked out from the dark. Step by step, he came in front of the demonic beast. Aowu. A mournful roar came out from the demonic beast's mouth. Its expression was full of horror and fear, and its body involuntarily took a few steps back. It wanted to distance itself from Lin Rei. The demonic beast understood Lin Rei's strength and also felt the murderous aura that was faintly emitted from Lin Rei's body. It understood that it would be difficult for it to escape today. Aowu. With a plop, the demonic beast directly knelt on the ground. Its huge head kept nodding, as if it was begging Lin Rei to let it go. I didn't expect a low-level demonic beast like you to understand so well. Looking at the demonic beast, to be honest, Lin Rei was really reluctant to kill it. After all, to be able to have such a special ability, it would definitely be extraordinary in the future. However, for the demonic beast in front of him, Lin Rei had already examined it. If it wanted to break through to a higher realm, it would be impossible. There was a congenital defect in the body. Coupled with the fact that there was no treatment in time, the defect had grown to a terrifying level. Therefore, Lin Rei felt very sorry about this. However, he couldn't do anything about it. He couldn't make a breakthrough. His Taoist foundation had been damaged. So, it was impossible for him to recover. Even though Lin Rei had entered the sage realm, it was still very difficult for him to recover from this painful injury. It kept begging Lin Rei for mercy. But in Lin Rei's eyes, the demonic beast's actions were useless and pale. You know the condition of your body. Rather than exhausting your life force here, you might as well transcend as soon as possible. It's done. Your huge body is exactly what I need. So, sleep peacefully. Maybe something different will happen when you close your eyes. Yi Shiwen didn't wait for the demonic beast to respond. He raised his hand and pressed it on the demonic beast's huge head. His arm exerted a little force and pushed the demonic beast's head into the ground. Bang! A burst of dust rose. Lin Rei's hand didn't stop there. He punched the demonic beast's head again. Bang! Another punch. Lin Rei didn't continue. He could feel that the demonic beast's vitality had disappeared. This meant that the demonic beast had died. Alas, it's a pity. Maybe the emperor would have taken you as his subordinate if you didn't have such a congenital condition. A look of pity appeared on his face. What he had said was true. To be able to see Linley, who was hidden in the darkness, with a single glance, this ability alone was enough to excite Linley. The dust dispersed. The demonic beast's corpse appeared in front of Lin Rei. Lin Rei nodded with satisfaction as he looked at its huge body. There was a trace of a smile on his face. This should be enough, right? Yi Shiwen reached out and grabbed the demonic beast's upper hind leg. Then, he exerted a little force and lifted the demonic beast's body. Lin Rei was even more satisfied when he felt the demonic beast's weight. Let's go home. Linley believed that with this monstrous beast's body, today, he would be able to go home. Thinking of his wives waiting for him at home, Lin Rei couldn't wait any longer. Although he knew that his two wives were powerful, he was still a little worried. As he was worried, Lin Rei unconsciously increased his speed. He was twice as fast as before. In just a few minutes, he appeared in front of Xiaolu. Seeing Lin Rei's sudden appearance and the powerful demonic beast on Lin Rei's body, Xiaolu was stunned on the spot. His face was filled with fear. He even began to stammer when he spoke. What's wrong? Looking at Xiaolu's expression, Lin Rei was surprised. Then, he continued, take a look. Can this demonic beast's corpse last for 2 to 3 months? Xiaolu was speechless. Silence. After Lin Rei finished speaking, Xiaolu didn't respond at all. He lifted his head in a daze and stared at the demonic beast on Lin Rei's back. The shock in his heart was indescribable. Hey, did you hear what I said? Do you think this demonic beast is okay? Can it go home? Lin Rei spoke again. This time, Xiaolu came back to his senses and quickly replied. This demonic beast is so powerful. Not to mention 2 to 3 months, it can even last for 7 to 8 months. The shock in his expression didn't recede. Okay, then, let's go. There's nothing else that we need here. As for the rest, we'll get them the next time we come. Lin Rei said and carried Lunatic outside. Along the way, he was afraid that Xiaolu wouldn't be able to carry so many things, so he reached out to carry a few more powerful demonic beast corpses. For this reason, Xiaolu wasn't willing. After all, the demonic beast's corpse on Lin Rei's back was heavy enough. If he were to carry it, but in the end, not only did Lin Rei carry it, but he also walked so fast that even Xiaolu couldn't catch up in time. Oh my god. Why would someone like him want to settle down in our village? Could it be that he's being hunted by his enemies? Looking at Lin Rei, who could still walk as though he was flying while carrying the demonic beast, Xiaolu couldn't help but mutter to himself. As for Xiaoyou's thoughts, Lin Rei didn't know. At this moment, he only had one thought in mind, and that was to go home. Time passed little by little. They didn't go deep, so they soon returned to the entrance of Yinshi mountain range. As soon as they left the mountain range, the rotten smell, the stench, and the smell of rotting corpses disappeared in an instant. Only the smell of grass and flowers remained. Phew, comfortable. Arriving at the entrance, Lin Rei took a deep breath with the demonic beast on his back. After exhaling the turbid air in his mouth, the smile on his face became wider. Phew, phew, after a while, the sound of rapid breathing could be heard. Lin Rei turned around and saw all kinds of things hanging on Xiaoyou's body. There were demonic beasts and wild vegetables. It looked very funny. Oh my god. Lin Rei, why are you so fast? Why didn't you wait for me? I'm so tired. Plop, plop. After saying that, all the things on his body fell to the ground. He directly sat on the ground without caring about his image. He was panting like crazy and the flush on his face slowly faded. Seeing him like this, Lin Rei was stunned. Only then did he remember that Xiaolu was an ordinary person. It was already very good that he could carry so many things and keep up with him. Thinking about this, Lin Rei directly put the demonic beast on the ground and then sat on a stone to wait quietly. Time passed little by little, but there was still no one at the entrance of Yinshi mountain range. It seemed that they were still hunting. At this moment, the flush on Xiaoyou's face had completely faded and his breathing had also returned to normal. He got up and came to Xiaoyou's side and said, "Let's go. If you can return home without rest this time, I promise you that I will give you a good fortune." After saying that, he pointed at the demonic beast and said, "Do you see it? That fortune will give you the ability to deal with this kind of existence." Swoosh. Hearing Linley's words, Lil 6 immediately stood up from the ground, his face filled with excitement. Really? Yes, really. Understanding Xiaoyou's thoughts, Lin Rei continued, "I promise you, but you have to achieve the results I want. Otherwise, the conditions just now will be considered null and void." Hearing this, Xiaoyouzi thought for a long time in silence. Finally, he showed a determined look and nodded. "Okay, in that case, I'll do it. It's just that I can't rest for a moment when I get home." After saying that, he lowered his body and picked up all the things on the ground. Then, without waiting for Lin Rei, he strode toward the road home. He understood that even if he didn't wait for Lin Rei, he would be able to catch up and even be surpassed. I am looking forward to your hard work. I just don't know if it will be as you wish in the end." Shaking his head, he once again carried the demonic beast on his body and strode toward Xiaolu. "You guys, this time, with so little things, we might not be able to last for 2 to 3 months. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. The demonic beasts in the periphery are nowhere to be found. Those demonic beasts that are slightly stronger and have their own territories are also gone. This is really weird, that's right. I don't know what exactly happened here. If this happens for a long time, damn it, we will have to find a new hunting ground." Sigh, everyone looked at each other and sighed. Their faces were filled with helplessness and bitter smiles. They were helpless and couldn't do anything about this. Regarding this, Lin Rei didn't know. Not long after he left, these people walked out of Yinshi mountain range. Each of them was holding a medium-sized demonic beast in their hands. Perhaps they didn't know that this phenomenon that they were talking about had a lot to do with Lin Rei. When Lin Rei and Xiaolu entered Yinshi mountain range for the first time, they encountered a powerful demonic beast. After Lin Rei released Xiaolu and Xiaolu, Xiaolu began to inform their friends to quickly leave and hide in the depths of Yunxi mountain range. After all, there was no such thing as an impenetrable wall in the world. Other than the demonic beast's roars, there was no other way to transmit information between demonic beasts. The news of experts entering Yunxi mountain range spread throughout the demonic beast's territory. That was why the demonic beasts scattered and headed toward the depths of Yunxi mountain range. It was also because of this that they couldn't hunt any prey. However, Lin Rei was completely unaware of this. At this moment, he was running with Xiaolu. Finally, the two of them arrived at the entrance of the village before the sky turned dark. This time, the two of them could be said to be extremely fast. Originally, it would take them a day, but now, it only took them half a day to return to the village. Even Xiaolu himself was a little surprised by this speed. Huff, huff, finally. Finally, we're almost there. Good fortune. I, Xiaolu, can also become a person who can punch demonic beasts. Thinking about it, his originally tired body instantly became energetic. He felt that he could run back and forth from Yunxi mountain range again. Seeing Xiaolu stop, Lin Rei said, "Hee hee, that's enough. You should hurry up and leave. Otherwise, if you don't complete my request, then you won't have a chance to obtain that good fortune." Oh. Right. Lin Li's words woke Xiaolu up. He didn't stay any longer. Dragging his tired body, he walked into the village step by step. Behind him, Lin Rei didn't pay attention to him. He didn't want the villagers to see the things on his body. Otherwise, it would cause another commotion. When there was no one around, Lin Rei's figure began to fade. In an instant, he disappeared from the spot as if he had never appeared. In the village, Xiaolu carried a mountain of game and became the focal point of the whole village. Originally, everyone was cooking at home, but when they heard the noise outside, they put down what they were doing and walked out. When they saw the things on Xiaolu's body, everyone was shocked. "Xiaolu, did you hunt all these?" "Yes, why did you come back alone? Where are the others? Why didn't they come with you?" Yes, where's my father? Where's my brother? Where's my husband?" For a moment, everyone realized that only Xiaolu came back. Their husbands and children didn't come back. Instantly, everyone was in an uproar. With fear and uneasiness, they looked around in panic as if they wanted to find their husband and son. In the end, they couldn't find them. As for Little Six, he had yet to fulfill his promise to Lin Li. Thus, Little Six naturally didn't pay any attention to the chatter of the crowd. He only had one thought in his mind, and that was to return home as soon as possible. Then, he would unload all of the items he had on him, complete his accumulation, and succeed in obtaining that piece of good fortune. Persevere, just a bit more, just a bit more, just a bit more, as he thought to himself, his vision started to blur and his head started to hurt. At this moment, all kinds of discomfort surged out. Ta, step by step, Xiaolu's footsteps became heavier and heavier. It was as if they were filled with lead. It was so heavy that he started to doubt his life. On the other hand, in the empty space in front of the Lin family's door, a figure suddenly appeared dragging a huge object. Husband is back. You're tuning into the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.